Hey guys, I am back. We are going to be reading some more The Letter. Hold on real quick though. Those words tell me all I need to know. They don't have a family living close by. I think I can skip this.
No, that's not how you... Oh, you come on. It's a...
Wow. What? If you meant...
Yeah, they arrived together.
Oh. See, and we...
No, you
Can
the
miss
premiere.
this.
Now, in the end, I think it's...
Oh, please, but you're not...
Look, if she says aside,
What?
I'm not. But if she
Ash.
tell you, is that good enough?
Thanks. It's always... Did you say something? Me? If you...
Okay, guys, so,
I think...
What's this?
No, I don't...
Looks...
Can miss. I can skip this.
Don't
because I
What's the...
already
Hold on.
know.
Even...
Okay.
I'm Say, well,
Aren't you...
it's not...
What did...
This... Oh, both.
You've...
See, Isabel... It's not... I saw... If I...
There's...
But it's...
a loose...
It happened. We're all... We... Win. Don't...
God! Why don't we all... And hey, we haven't seen it, please.
If we keep...
Oh.
Stop.
Oh. Okay.
That...
So,
But you'll miss...
didn't you say I'll be in there? And then?
And then, okay, so we're back here now. Can you go look on the game? Thank you.
Are you sure it wasn't one of the cleaning crews?
Absolutely sure.
Somehow halfway through the movie, the conversation steered towards what happened in the mansion. To be fair, Zach was the other one who brought it up again. Zach was the one, sorry. In his own movie premiere, now the film's just serving as a background noise while we speak in hushed tones, careful not to disturb anyone inside the small hall. Well, except for Ash. I just hope he won't end up arguing about it again. We'd all get kicked out for sure. Though, with how loud Ash's voice is, we'll probably get thrown out way before any argument happens. Only Becca still remains engrossed in the movie, completely ignoring us. She's been quiet the whole evening, speaking only when referred to. If I didn't know any better, I think we did something that offended her. Did we?
And then I ran. You heard what happened after.
I still think it's something else.
It was standing right in front of me, Ash.
He's one of the smartest people I know, but jeez, you should learn to listen. Hold on for a second, y'all. Plus, didn't he say he doesn't believe in these things? Why is he in this conversation again?
I heard what you said, but it's a small room. There are a lot of things someone else could have done there without your knowledge. If I could see it up close, maybe I can...
I am not going back there.
Ain't that a problem if you're hosting an open house?
Rose does the first floor tour.
I ain't sure ghosts can be restricted to one room, Bella.
Maybe.
There are no ghosts, Zach. Stop putting useless ideas in her head.
Yeah, but I was thinking, maybe all the house needs is a blessing. Wasn't it left uninhabited for years?
Oh, the house did change hands over the years, from one distant relative to the Emergardens to another. None of them bothered to live in it though. It remained that way up until its current owner decided to sell it. Why didn't I think of that?
I didn't peg you as the religious type, Zach.
Nothing like that, Ash. Who knows, though? It might bring something positive to the place.
That's not a bad idea. I just don't know where I could find someone.
You're not seriously considering his suggestion, are you?
Do you have a better idea?
I know where. I could contact him for you if you want.
You'd do that?
Or we can find you a psychologist instead.
There are very few times in my life when I wish my glowers can kill. This is one of those.
Ash, that is not a very appropriate thing to say right now.
No, wait, that's not what I meant. Ethnographer. I meant ethnographer. This guy's a psychologist too, of course, if you...
Happy Almost New Year's. What's up, Minecraft? How you doing?
Ashton, if you don't stop...
Rebecca knows the guy I'm talking about too. She can vouch for him.
Becca tears her eyes away from the screen at the mention of her name.
What? Oh, are you talking about Professor Andrew? He used to work with my parents at the university. Can you guys keep it down?
Sorry, the scaredy cat here mentioned curses. Not that I'm saying this is one,
Good, that's good.
but talking to him is a better solution for me than getting a random priest to bless an old house. He'll even help you figure things out, teach you a couple things. And probably put your fears to rest, since this looks to be bothering you a lot.
Ash might be right too, however, what Zach suggests is something I'm more familiar with. Granted, they won't believe me, they're only giving me these suggestions to put my mind at ease, but it's better than being ignored or being laughed at. You like the new name? I do, and looks nice. I can take comfort in knowing they are willing to hear me
So,
out.
what do you think?
It's your call. We'll go with whatever you want.
I don't know.
Who should I meet? Meet the priest, meet with the professor. I kind of want them to bless the house, if I'm going to be honest. If we are dealing with ghosts and demons, it wouldn't hurt, right, to get a priest?
I'll think about it. But maybe we could go with Zach's idea?
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to try, right? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least we did something than just stand around. I'll let you know when he's available, Bella.
Thanks, Zach. I knew I could count on you.
Guys, I said keep it down. You keep
More on the video,
insisting that we
right.
still watch it. You're not even paying attention yourselves.
It ain't a big deal, Rebecca. I'm the one who broached the subject in the first place.
It's still your film, Zachary. A good film, mind you. You worked hard on this. The least we could do is watch it with you.
And that's what you're all doing. I really appreciate all of you making time for this.
Sorry, Becca. We'll stop now.
I show her an apologetic look. Even if Ash is the only one, she should be reprimanding, but her attention is already back on the screen. She's ignoring us again. When Becca's acting this way, there's a big chance something's nagging at her. We really need to talk. We all fall into a comfortable silence after. The kind only you can share with people you're most at ease with. For the first time today, the letter lays forgotten in my bag, if only for a few hours. Night has fallen by the time we exit the movie house. Despite the late hour, the streets are still bustling for people. Those about to head home, those set to meet someone, even those simply wandering about, walking in the sea of unfamiliar souls. It strikes me how easy it is for one to get lost in a city as not accepted as Lebrachron. I was afraid too at one point, back when I was new and had just set foot in this place. Now with familiar faces walking with me, it feels a little like home. Zach and Ash bid us goodbye shortly before Becca and I crossed to the other side of the street. The former claiming he's got a few freelance jobs to take care of before the day ends. And Ash? Who knows? He never tells. Sometimes I just randomly appear at your doorstep, looking for a place to crash. He does that to Zach a lot, much to the latter's frustration. But he's a busy guy too, in spite of the laid-back air he gives off.
Thanks for today, everyone!
No problem, Zach. I'm sorry for what happened earlier.
Help me. What the fuck?
Huh?
A sensation. Cold, sickening, drowning. My chest tightening, breathing becoming labored. I can taste blood in my mouth, the edges of my vision blurs. In the distance, amidst the countless, nameless people going about their lives, a voice reaches out to me. Pleading even as I clench my eyes shut and clasp my hands over my ears. Whispering and whispering and whispering, calling out, help me please.
No, not me.
Somebody, help me.
Isabella? Earth to Isabella?
At her voice, the whole world suddenly snaps into place. The murmur is gone. When I open my eyes, Becca raised an eyebrow at me.
Weren't you listening? Are you coming with me?
Oh, yeah. Just... Okay. Sorry. I spaced out.
You always do that.
Shut up. I followed her with compliance, but not before sneaking a glance to the far end of the street, where the voice came from, or another set of eyes might be staring at me. Nothing. There are only Zach and Ash watching over us as we head back to where Becca parked her car. If I'm expecting to see something or someone there, I try not to let it show. Try not to think of the tiny pinpricks of fear crawling at the pit of my stomach.
See you guys some other time.
Yeah, see ya.
Another glance, and with a final wave, we go off our own ways. I don't know what I saw. I don't know what I heard. I don't want to know. And if this is what helped me sleep tonight, what would help me sleep tonight, what would give back that normalcy in my life, then so be it. October 22nd, Saturday. The darkness closes around me, grasping, pulling, engulfing me. The ground caves in without warning, I'm falling. My eyes snap open. For an instant, it doesn't immediately register where I am. Both my back and shoulders ache after I've fallen asleep all hunked up the night before. Drenched in sweat, the nest of pillows I often keep around me feels more suffocating than comforting. I let my eyes adjust to the bright morning light streaming through my window, and allow my breathing to slow down before untangling myself from the pile. I haven't had a single dream since coming to Luxembourg, or at least none I can recall having. It's a shame because they used to be so vivid. Not the crazy vivid, but the more pleasant kind I'll tell my siblings about. Maybe it's just the stress of living alone? The knowledge that I always wake up in an empty apartment with no one to tell stories to.
What time is it?
Habits forces me to look over at the clock, even with the soreness weighing heavily on my shoulders, and the compulsion to never leave my bed for the day. In a heartbeat, I'm up.
Oh man, of all the times to oversleep. Towel? Where's my towel?
Admittedly, it's a weekend, as an unspoken rule that entitles me to extra hours of sleep. But if Rose didn't kill me yesterday, she sure as hell well now, and right after what happened. Oh Lord, one box of donuts as peace offering won't be enough the second time around. Grabbing my towel, I'm already a few short steps away from the bathroom when a muffled ringing breaks out from my bag. There's a moment of indecision. At first, my mind conflicted whether I should just ignore or answer it. But what if it's Rose? Or worse, our boss? Sheesh, in the end, the rational part of my brain wins out. The letter from yesterday peeks out when I pull the device out. Just the sight of it is enough to put me in a foul mood, and it takes every force of will for me to ignore it in favor of answering the phone. The caller ID reads Mama.
Huh?
It's around 4:45 p.m. in the Philippines right now.
That's an unusual time for them to call.
Usually it's around noon time here, and I'm the one calling, not the other way around. Better for them to use that money on something else than an international call. Regardless, in the most cheerful tone, I can gather.
Hello? Grace? How are you?
Mama! I'm doing okay. How are you guys over there?
We're good. EJ won a storytelling contest at school the other week. Brought home a medal. I thought you should know.
There's a tired lit in her voice as she speaks. I've been there since Papa had to leave his job. I wish there's something I could do for her. But for miles away from like this, the least I'm able to do is not to make her worry. If only my older brother would actually lend her a hand, but Lord knows if that'll ever happen. Odds are, Kua Jordan's already out drinking right now. Again. I can't count on my older sister either. No, she has a family of her own, and well, 8 Ann's financial situation isn't exactly great right now, having ran herself knee-deep in debt.
Great! That's great! Tell him congratulations from me. And let him know I'm gonna send him a little something extra this Christmas. How about Nico? Karen? Michael? I hope they're okay?
They're doing well. They wanted to talk to you, but they're all busy with school.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't want to bother them. Just tell them to keep doing their best for me. I'll just call back when I know they're not busy. And Papa? How's Papa doing?
It's a subject I'm a bit hesitant to broach, from the way Mama's voice hitches. She doesn't want to bring it out either.
Grace, Papa's He's having a little difficulty right now. Weak appetite, he's having trouble swallowing, and lost a few pounds. But the doctor said we should keep encouraging him. It just means his body's accepting his new treatment well. The money you sent last time helped a lot to pay for it, by the way.
Oh, I see. That's good.
I won't deny that life had gotten tougher for our family. It used to be easy back when Papa was in good shape. But ever since he was diagnosed with a sickness 12 years ago, he had been unable to provide for us. Now the burden of feeding 8 mouths and settling Papa's bills all rest on my shoulders. Although Mama makes a little accepting sewing along the jobs in our neighborhood, it's scarcely enough to cover the cost of day-to-day living, let alone the bloating hospital bills. We can't even accept help from our own government because the health insurance there barely covers anything.
I'm sure he'll get better soon. Is he well enough to talk? Do you think I'll be able to speak to him, Ma?
Silence. I thought you were saying that the car got caught until...
Listen, Grace. Maybe it's better if we transfer Papa to a different hospital. Somewhere cheaper?
What? Why? Did something happen? Is it the deposit issue again? Give me the hospital's number. I'll talk to them.
No, it's nothing bad. The service here is good. Too good. Even the doctors. But I'm worried you're working yourself to the ground because of it.
Mama, we've been through this before. I want the best for Papa. And don't worry about the bills or the medicine, or me for that matter. I can handle myself. Everything's going well here. In fact, we're about to close a large sale.
Hopefully. If not, then I'll find another way. She doesn't need to know that. Sorry, Mama, you taught me to lie. Yeah, look at what I'm doing.
I'll have money to send over soon to cover the rest of Papa's treatment. And there's more than enough for Karen, Nico, Michael, and EJ's school tuition, too.
Thank you so much, dear. I appreciate it. We all do. But I just wish you'd come home to us soon.
Kellen Kaiui? What? When are you coming home? EJ at a young age used to be the only person asking me that. How do you respond to a question you don't have a definite answer to? 5 years later, I still can't get to my straight one. I smile, though Mama can't see it. I fight to keep my lips from quivering, my voice from shaking. She's got enough on her plate as it is. No need to weigh her down with unnecessary concerns.
Promise me you'll be there to welcome me when I do, okay?
Of course. I'm sorry, Grace. I need to take this for a while.
Small commotion on the other end, the sound of gates opening, the voice of a child, EJ, talking silently about his day at school, the tapping of feet on the floorboards as he runs. It's been years since I went home, but I can still picture the whole scene in my mind. How tall is he now? Are the neighborhood kids bullying him now that I'm not around? Did Mama rearrange the furniture in the living room again? What are they having for dinner today? I miss them. I miss them so much.
It's okay, Ma. I need to go too. I've got work today. I'll call again soon, alright?
On a Saturday? Oh, never mind. Take care of yourself, dear. I love you.
I love you. Bye.
It ends with a soft click, leaving half-truths and empty promises hanging in the air. Closing my eyes for a moment, I take a deep breath and shake away the thoughts beginning to swim inside my head. It's pointless to mull over these things right now.
Okay, Isabella. Time to get that mansion sold.
Fortunately, before I could take a single step away from my phone, it rings again. No doubt Mama forgot to say
Mama?
something.
Did you forget anything?
Excuse you? I'm too young to be your mom. Are you still sleeping? Hold on, never mind that. Get yourself in the office. Hurry!
Office? What about the open house? Oh no. Is it Sir John? Did he hear about yesterday? Am I in trouble? Oh god, oh god, oh god! I'm gonna get yelled at, aren't I? What do? I'll buy you an extra box of donuts if...
No, it's nothing like that. Will you calm down? Get yourself here, alright? I'll tell you everything then.
There's a telltale dawning of several feet shuffling against the wooden floor and an instinctive yelling in the background before Will cuts the connection. That isn't in any way comforting, but it's enough reason for me to hastily discard my phone and finish my shower in record time. What's up, Cosmic? How you doing? Happy New Year. I make it to our office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment completely disheveled and out of breath. My feet if I take into account my usual travel time. Routine Callamore, common to wish you well for 2025. Same to you. Come to Briar Rally Quaffran's office. Greets me as soon as my foot crosses the threshold. Papers rustling, telephones ringing at project intervals, agents talking at varying volumes, staff moving about.
Where the hell is C? Where are my employees?
I'm currently on holidays. I'll be back Friday. Let's go.
What the actual fuck, guys? Of all the times to disappear without notice.
My boss's words turn muffled as someone else closes the door to his office, likely the work of our HR manager. Throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who have failed to report to work. I wanted to stop by. I appreciate that, man. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate everything that you're doing. Hope you're enjoying your holidays. I hope you're still trying to get a hold of them, but to no avail. The result is half their workload has been shifted to all available staff, so as to not lose clients. Not that I mind the extra work. If anything, it means I have more to send to my family back home. Although the rumors of a branch closure circulating because of this is indeed a bit worrisome. My bag barely touches the top of my table when Roland pulls me aside. Same to you, let's get it. All the best. Same to you.
Here, I need you to help me with these. Be signed and photocopied before lunch today. That would be great.
One after another, she thrusts a bunch of paperwork in my hands with her exclamation. A page flutters away from the top of the pile, and I lean down to pick it up, my eyes scanning the top of the page as I straighten. A purchase and sale agreement. Rose simply gestures her thumb in the direction of our visitor lounge. When I tilt my head in question, They're sitting on the sofa and looking comfortably out of place. It's the humbly decorated room. It's the same couple from the day before. The Wrights. Something bubbles up my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing.
They're buying it? We got a deal?
She swats in my hand, tugging her sleeve, although her eyes are alight with something akin to joy. She wants the sale to happen as much as I do, and now that it's here, the deal needs to be closed yet. Documents need to be signed still. The elation is there. Along with the foreboding feeling I can't quite pinpoint.
I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before they attended the open house. I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madame Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate.
One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean?
They're paying 15% higher than the listing price, as long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible. I think if we allow it, they'll be paying up front, too.
Even with that urban legend?
Rose nods.
I was so sure we lost the sale after yesterday.
Don't look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them.
Please. I'll happily do the paperwork duty, Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing.
So if they had better things to spend money on, I'd haggle it down to the lowest possible price if I were in their place, especially with the stories attached to it. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just their agents who are going to receive the hefty commission after all, nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling that she's heading back to them, and an unspoken instruction for me to follow after I'm done. Doesn't take me long to finish what work she left me. In fact, having our boss sign the agreement is the easiest, since it has put him in a better mood, to the entire office's relief. Ma'am Hannah calls me over the moment she notices my presence at the lounge door. She welcomes me with a bright smile, her movements more open than what one would typically expect from a passing client to have.
Oh, Isabel! How are you feeling? You looked awfully dreadful yesterday.
Isabella, I'm fine now, ma'am. I appreciate your concern.
I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. It shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand in their copy of the agreement.
Wonderful. Your team works unbelievably fast.
Ma'am Hannah skims through each of them with a scrutinizing eye, checking her page for any inconsistencies and errors. Despite the assuming impression she gives off, she appears fully aware of what to look for in the processing contracts like these undergoes. It is surprising, to be quite honest. I haven't pegged her for someone who is well versed in these things, yet here she is. She knows some of it of her husband, and he responds with the same passive interest as if he's more than happy to leave everything to her. I can't tell if it is purely because he believes she's capable enough, doesn't care about what they're buying, or he simply finds paperwork tedious. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Ma'am Hannah claps her hands together before extending it to us with a shake. Rose and I released the breath we've been holding, both of us more than happy to return the
That
gesture.
settles it then?
Are you really sure about this property, ma'am? We could easily find you a bigger one among our current listings. Something with a modern touch?
Something not haunted, perhaps? Rose shoots me a warning glare that clearly says, "Don't make a scene where Emma's there."
Of course, why wouldn't I be? The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling?
A helipad would still be a nice addition.
Yes, well, we'll get there eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have bought it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it.
Well, there's still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after, but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am.
Within a week, I hope. We still have a housewarming party to plan, after all. You know how much thought should be put into those things.
There are servants for that, darling.
Love, wouldn't it be better if we handled it ourselves? A personal touch of sorts.
Hold up. What is this?
It is our housewarming party and our new home.
Before going to the Isabella, got by to check out Rebecca. Okay. Okay, this is just basically like relationship. Okay, we got a relationship we got a high relationship with Zach, Marianne, Rebecca, kinda Ashton is pretty high, and Luke is Huh. Okay.
No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us.
Excellent. Well then, I'll leave you two to it. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, and before we forget...
She discreetly folds something into both our hands and winks, a finger raised to her lips, demanding our
I
sound.
know both of you worked hard on getting us this beautiful mansion.
Oh my god, that money, like extra money in cash. Bless
Did
your
I
soul.
mention we reward our people generously?
But this is... Ma'am, I can't accept this.
Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us. Consider this your bonus for a job well done.
She smiles sweetly. This is simply the most normal thing to do in the
Oh,
world.
before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate it if you hand her a copy of the floor plan as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house. You can do that, yes? Here's her contact.
Certainly, ma'am. We'll have it processed as soon as possible.
I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you two soon so we can get this closed.
Just like that, transaction over and done with. My mind's still reeling even after they left. Other agents would kill their clients like them. A part of me feels lucky about the fact, no lengthy negotiations, no sudden change of minds, just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're done. The other part? A second ago, we sold the haunted property to 2 innocent clients. Sure, the commission's big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization, big enough to pay for all 4 of my younger siblings' schooling. Heck, it'll keep me away from instant noodle diet for months. I don't have to go back to the mansion as well. Once the deal has been closed, much to my sanity's relief. But knowing that something's in there, and we gave it to the good couple despite that. Oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money, Papa won't be happy with that. At least I had good news to tell next time I call home. The little lie I told Mom this morning isn't a lie anymore.
Well, there's something. So how does it feel?
How does what feel?
Your first big multi-million-pound sale, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable for you.
Memorable is an understatement, Rose.
Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus, too, aside from the commission and the other bonus boss promised. What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. Send it home, probably?
All of it?
Not everything, of course. Most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses.
Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training.
She slings an arm over my shoulders and leans in closer to my ear, as though she's about to share a big secret.
It's okay to celebrate from time to time.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself. Throw a party and treat your friends to free food. Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back at home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal.
Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive?
Your call. I won't say no to an invitation, by the way, in case you really are planning to throw one. A few drinks would be nice too, thank you very much.
I don't think my apartment's big enough for that.
You could always move? Bloody hell, you're working in real estate.
I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well.
You go do that. Hold on a sec.
She quickly removes herself from me to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from playful to professional in the span of a few seconds.
Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of the contract if...
Must be another client. Nothing surprising there. She's one of BRC's top agents, no matter how modest she appears. A saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, had very little knack for it. Of course, I learned eventually. I had to. But someone else will, without a doubt, do a better job. Once, though, in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story of what could have been. Years ago, wide-eyed, young, and brimming with yet-to-be-fulfilled dreams and ambitions, she was a term or two away from a nursing degree. Out of courtesy, I never pressed on the matter further. But perhaps it's what the sense of fondness started. A small connection due to one similar experience in our respective lives, of goals we both let pass us by because of the circumstances we're in.
I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. All right, I'll be there. Thank you.
New client?
Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark at all?
Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from the HR yet?
None at all. Boss thinks he ran away. I doubt it, though. He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason. Who knows? Anyway, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later.
She throws a wave over her shoulder as she rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bell sounds shortly after, followed by the chatter of fellow agents also heading out for a much-needed break. Ordinarily, there's no time for me to get out, but oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch today. If one considered taking an instant noodle cup from my pantry, packing your lunch, time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash too? In the end, only Becca and Zach could come. Ash, on the other hand, couldn't be reached. All my calls went straight to his voicemail. He's at it again. Right here today, gone the next. Oh well, his loss. We have agreed to meet at a nearby cafe. The same one I frequent with Becca because it's cheap and they give away free bread around closing time. Quiet, a little old-fashioned though, looks a wee bit out of place amidst the city's tall buildings, but we love it all the same. Much like its facade, the interior carries an antiquated charm to it, with vintage art pieces and a row shelf boosting an extensive collection of books cover the walls. It would have been nice to hang out here for hours on end, but even on a weekend, the place is still packed with people. Thankfully, Becca and Zach have already found seats, and they are engaged in some casual chatter when I arrive. It's strange seeing the two of them without Ash accompanying the other. They'd never been particularly close. Sure, they talk when they meet, laugh at the same things when there's something funny, but there's distance. The kind born purely out of differing interests. That or Zach's simply afraid of Becca. It's not impossible, and I won't blame him if he is. He might be the tallest in our group, but everyone knows that it means nothing against Becca's temper. Even I am a little scared of
Zach!
her.
Becca!
Well, you seem to be in a better mood today. What happened? I know that smile, Belle. Come on, still.
Don't rush me. Let's order food first, okay?
A waitress comes by to take our order. On a normal day, me and Becca will order a hearty serving of their special vegetarian stovies. Zach takes anything with a good helping of meat, sausages, or potatoes in it. But today's a good day. Great, even. It's not wrong to indulge a little, right?
Today's special. For the three of us.
Even the person jotting down our order looks surprised at today's meal choice. She writes it nevertheless and leaves us with a comment. Becca furrows her eyebrows, her eyes halfway open. Her mouth halfway open, ready to let loose what's likely a string of reprimands.
Don't worry. It's my treat.
The glare she sends my way reminds me of the one I received from Mama when I punched the kid bullying my younger brother 18 years ago. Naturally, I never did it again after she made me apologize the next day. But Becca's far from being my mom. A small, sheepish grin is enough to turn that frown into a defeated sigh. Food arrives in the middle of a funny story from Zach, putting the rest of the conversation on hold as we each serve their order. It isn't anything fancy. Pan roasted sea bass, that looks delicious, holy shit, with citrus dressed asparagus and a portion of mashed potatoes on the side, or at least that's what the daily specials board says. I never did pay any attention to it whenever I come here, since the price whatever is written way above what I'm willing to spend on food on a single day.
Oh, good. I'm so hungry, I think I'm dying.
You're always hungry.
Hey! Not all the time.
Let me guess. You skipped breakfast again.
Not on purpose. I may have overslept by a few seconds today.
Right then. Stop stalling, Isabella. What's this about?
Let us say, Rebecca. She wouldn't be inviting us out if it wasn't worth hearing out.
Well, we're waiting.
I'm treating you guys to a once-in-a-century thing.
An expectant grin breaks out on my face, except...
I'm sorry, say that again.
And this is important because...
Becca only raised an eyebrow at me, while Zach appears like he didn't get the punchline to another lame joke Ash made, and is desperately searching for someone to explain it. Oh, bummer, maybe I should rephrase that.
Okay, let me do that again. Guess what, guys? I'm paying! I sold the house!
As the news sinks in, their expression goes from sheer bewilderment to utter surprise. That's more like
You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. As of today, I, Maria Isabella Grace Cruz Santos, am free from my instant noodle binge.
Seriously?
Hold it, Belle. You sold the house?
Yep.
Which house is this? In Anslem Village? The one with the open house yesterday?
The one and only. Come on, Becca. I know you've got a better memory than that.
Oh, wow. That's...
She lets out a hum, although she's nodding. She gives the impression of someone who has heard something unbelievable and is still forcing her brain to absorb it. Did she think we wouldn't be able to sell it? Have some faith in me, Becca. Am I not your best friend or what?
You don't believe me?
The words trembled out of my mouth before I could stop them. I've been trying to avoid bringing up yesterday's little spat, and judging from the looks on their faces, it seems they are too. Me and my stupid mouth.
I'm sure it ain't the way you're thinking, Bella.
No, I do believe you. But don't you think the sale happened a bit too fast? The open house only started yesterday, and now you already have a buyer?
It happens from time to time.
Yeah, but look, I'm happy for you. Just yesterday, you've been really worried where to get money for your dad's new treatment. And now, all of a sudden, you have something. What if the sale doesn't push through, or I don't know, they're a fraud, or they suddenly back out? Isn't it a little too early to celebrate?
Rebecca does have a point, Bella. If you haven't closed the deal yet, there's still a chance they'll go back on it.
They don't seem like it to me. The lady appeared to really want it, and she approached me without even finishing the tour.
pressured me into it more like. But I'm not going to tell Becca about that, knowing her she's only
And
girl.
she already hired someone to handle the house's interior design.
You're joking. Who would do that?
The Wrights, apparently. It's actually pretty funny. She's a bit too excited to get the property, she forgot to buy it. At any rate, they've already signed the agreement today, so it's just a matter of time. And don't tell anyone about this, but Ma'am Hannah also gave us something extra.
Something as in...
As in, it's why I can treat you two to a free meal.
I'm more surprised you accepted it.
She didn't really give us a choice in the matter. So don't lose sleep over this, okay? The couple really want the house. If Rose didn't stop them, they'd likely have paid up front for it yesterday. That's despite the legends, too. I even tried to show them the letter. But nope. I want this house, darling. Go take all our money.
You don't really think they'd believe that, do you? I'm pretty sure for them, those are just rumors as well. No one is that superstitious in this day and age, Belle. Well, there's you.
Right. You know what? I'll just eat all of these by myself.
I begin to gather their plates to my side, the food each still untouched. A laugh almost escapes my mouth with the way Zach's expression quickly changes to disappointment. Becca's hand interrupts me just as I'm about to pull her plate closer to me.
I'm kidding! Don't go all pouty on me again. I'm just concerned you'll get hurt if this doesn't happen. I know how badly you want to close this deal for your papa.
I'm sure he's gonna be fine now, though, with the money. They don't know yet. I think I'll call them tomorrow. Let them know things will be easier. Mama said this morning he's showing progress with the new treatment, too. It's just a matter of time.
I allow myself to smile, genuine and uninhibited. It's strange talking about this with other people, even those who have known you long enough. Today, things simply feel a lot lighter with them here. Lunch passes in an enjoyable fashion. A laugh here, a playful jab there. Most of it is spent on catching on and telling stories about whatever's keeping us busy these days. Something we couldn't afford to do the day before, taking into account what happened. Even Becca's surprisingly chatty. Is there something in the sea bass we ate? Zach, though, appears less energetic. While he's far from being the life of a party, he's definitely not the type to keep quiet in a conversation with his friends. Apart from a few inputs, he's been solid the entire time. If Becca notices...
Are you sure you're not feeling under the weather, Zachary?
Huh? No, I'm okay. No worries, Rebecca.
Doesn't sound okay to me.
It's okay. I might be feeling a little bummed out today, but I'm sure this will pass.
Is it about the reviews this morning?
A pained expression crosses Zach's face, and almost immediately Becca retreats in her corridor as though the man's look is enough of an answer for her. I look between the two of them. Did I miss something? What happened this morning? Did I stumble on a big secret? What's up, Naughty? How you doing, Legend? Genji, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, buddy. This is why I don't like waking up.
You heard about those, huh?
Sorry, I just happened to check on some sites this morning.
Nah, it's a very sensitive topic in the first place. I should have expected it.
What reviews?
Becca glances at Zach, her emotions unsure, eyes asking for his consent on the matter. Although there's a small desire to keep asking on my part, I don't dare voice it out. With Zach, it has always been better to wait, let him speak on his own. Becca too, to some extent, although with her, explosions of temper are more common. In the end, he simply answers with a shift of his shoulders, gesturing for her to go on with a tilt of his head.
It's his movie.
That doesn't explain anything. Stop dangling the information, Becca!
Zachary, I'm not the one supposed to be telling her about this. It's still your documentary.
Is it something bad?
Not bad per se. You guys don't need to dwell on it much.
Bad? Listen here. I wouldn't trivialize what those bowheads wrote if I were you. They're ruining other people's jobs.
From how her tone rises in anger, it seems like she's the one slighted and not Zach. A snicker escapes me, which I promptly stamp down on as soon as she sends me a hard book.
This isn't a laughing matter, Isabella. Some bowbag just insulted him.
Calm down, Rebecca. Those are just reviews, and it happens a lot.
I do not ken about you two, but calling the entire film an out and out dribble, you're better off watching an educational kids' TV show, and worst 1.5 hour of my life, among other things, isn't exactly a critique any decent movie reviewer would say. If you could call that a critique, did we even watch the same film?
Well, maybe I ain't cut out for it. Better stick with my photography or something. If nothing else, this helped me open my eyes to what I can and can't do.
You're giving up.
It
was just something experimental I did on my free time anyway. It's no big deal.
But you worked on it for months.
Doesn't look like it matters for those people.
Don't say that!
A pawn strikes the table, sending the tableware on top clanking against each other. I didn't even notice when I rose from my seat. But here I am, chest heaving, looking down at him in the same manner a teacher would at an unruly student. Becca's probably proud. I didn't mean to yell, but there are some things people like that aren't supposed to say. How exasperating? He of all people should know.
It's just a review.
Except they're pretty well-known critics.
Why does that matter? They aren't the ones calling the shots on this. Isn't that why they have a committee? Right, Becca?
A amused gleam is in her eyes when I turn to her. What does she find so entertaining here? Help me here. Your friend's about to quit his passion for a petty reason. I haven't read what those people wrote about his work, but a few scathing words shouldn't be enough to encourage someone. I should know, after all.
Failing means you're playing, Zach. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I've seen it from start to finish, and I know for myself what you created isn't something people should scoff at. I don't know anything about filming or photography. Hell, I don't have an inkling of artistry in me except for those doodles I make for class. But I know what I watched. Look at Isabella. It's not every day you see her all riled up like this.
Whatever I'm about to say gets lost in my tongue as a flush of embarrassment blooms across my face.
It was a heat of the moment thing. And anyway, I'll be very angry with you if you quit. What about the exhibit?
What exhibit?
Classified information.
Even if I bring you your favorite tonight?
Nope, not a chance.
Oh, come on! I thought we aren't supposed to have secrets.
First laughter comes from
Thanks,
Zach.
you two. I might need some time alone to myself for a while. Just to think about things, how I'll go from here, that sort of stuff. Hey, I'm not quitting, Bella. Don't give me that face.
There's no face at all, only a poor imitation of puppy dog eyes, if you could call this
Promise?
I'll be damned if I break any promise I make to you guys. Besides, you're right. It's too early to say anything right now. What's night ain't for another week.
And that's all the answer I need from him. As sentimental as it sounds, there's fulfillment in knowing another person you know won't take the same path you walked. It's not like it's over for me though. I still have time. I can still come back. Do my own thing. Do what I really want to do. Surely when Papa recovers, once I'm done with everything. Inside my bag, my phone buzzes unexpectedly, breaking the pleasant afternoon lull. The screen shows Rose.
Hey, Isabel. You at the office?
Ha ha. Very funny, Rose. I'm hanging up.
Don't, I'm kidding. BRC says the floor plan copies are ready for Miss McCullough to pick up.
She states that as if it already explains everything. Then, out of the blue, she launches a long rant about the awful state of Letbourne streets. All of which she says in a single breath that I can barely keep up and make out a single word. I stay quiet, if only to avoid becoming the next object of her frustration. She's similar to Becca in that regard.
I'm stuck in horrendous traffic right now. Bloody stupid drivers.
But she has finally ran out of things to complain about and stops. What she says next still has none of what I'm hoping to hear from her. Just a quick mumble to play for me to meet the right interior designer in her stead.
Anyway, I'll leave it to you. Bye. Thanks.
Classic Rose. She ends the call without even asking for my input. The sky is cloudless and the noontime sun is beating down on the hard concrete when we leave the cafe. It's far from unbearable, but it's enough to put most people in a fickle mood or make them vulnerable to catch something. No wonder we have staff members going owl lately, not to mention my boss's mercurial moods. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want our usual cloudy weather back. For all the gripes about the unpredictable weather though, the streets of Lochburn remain constantly busy. The hurried tapping of shoes against the pavement and chatter coming from the lunchtime crowd filled the humid afternoon air. A small reminder of the things we still have to do, regardless of how much I want to return to the comfort of my bed. Back to bar reality for me. Zach to a meeting with a magazine publisher featuring luxury houses, and Becca to her lesson plans a book at home. But more than once, I catch her sneaking a longing glance over something displayed on a shop window. Does she want to buy something? Maybe I can get it for her this Christmas. I turned my head at the last shop she checked out. A fleeting glimpse. The world stills. Dude, what the fuck? She looked at me, eyes hallowed, gaze piercing, and boring into my very soul, like a set of chains to keep my whole body still. Oh my god, look at her! There are no shadows or whispers this time. Only a plea, a hum low and distant, compelling me, beckoning me, and dragging me to the void beyond the glass. I don't dare move. My heart hammers against my ribs, each beat, every thump screaming at me to look away and make a run for it. But I can't. I couldn't. All my limbs feel heavy, while my own breathing screams in the face of her calls.
Leave me alone.
Her mouth is stretched in a grin, wide and unpleasant. The panic building up in my chest forces me to take a tentative step back. I try not to stare at the decaying flesh, the blood streaming from the gaping wound on her arm and her nailless fingers. I don't want this. Not like this. Not after I got what I want for Papa.
No, stop. Leave me alone.
Her face contorts and she lets out a wail, sharp and ugly, unforgiving. Rage. There is only hatred and bitterness, as if the very notion of turning away from her is an offense in itself.
Please! I don't want this!
Before I know it, I'm stumbling backwards, my own throat hoarse from the screams I didn't even know was already coming out of my mouth. The back of my feet catches on a loose stone, sending me sprawling on the ground. The resultant pain completely jolts me out of the haze, blurring my mind. For a little while, my surroundings appear unfamiliar until Becca's face swims into my vision. A look of concern is on her face, and her hands are gripping my arms tight. Even Zach appears beside himself with worry while he stands behind her, acting as a shield against the small crowd of onlookers already forming around us.
What happened?
Bella, you okay?
My mouth opens and closes, but nothing comes out. The words refuse to form. On impulse, I sneak a swift glance at the display window. She's gone. Yet the forbidding feeling hasn't left me. My hands are shaking as I push myself off the ground, my weakened limbs relying solely on reflex and muscle memory. Something icy has made its home at the pit of my stomach. I want to throw up anything to get the wretched sensation out.
You are screaming! Zach, call someone!
No, don't. I'm good. I'm good. I need to get to the office. Rose, the floor plans. Someone's going to pick it up. I'll see you later.
Careful! Don't stand up yet. Stay put, Isabella. Zach, you watch over her for me. I'll call for someone.
I attempt to smile to put her at ease, but it likely comes off as a grimace. Gently, I push her hands off my shoulders. My knees are still trembling, but I can stand. Leave. Leave me. Stay away. Away. The humidity is stifling. Everyone's stares are unnerving, and Becca's and Zach's concerns are suffocating. I don't want to be here. No more. I break into a run. Wish I hadn't left my bed this morning. Here, with only the occasional drips of water on the sink and the whirring of the fan blades to keep me company, it's easy to fall into a cycle of negative thinking. But even with the clutter to keep me company, the room still feels a whole lot bigger than usual. I hug my knees closer as a group passes by outside. Loud. So loud. If only there was a way to tune everything out, to keep my head from replaying every image, every sound of her. Her screams, her awkward gait as she reaches for me, her bone-chilling smile, her pleas for... Enough. That's enough. A shiver passes over me, that, though it's not from the hair still hanging damp against my back, nor the draft that enters the room from the windows I left wide open. My gaze shifts over to the letter sitting on the coffee table. It edges flutter innocently as the wind touches it. Funny how an ordinary-looking piece of paper can bring this much trouble. The impulse to throw it away or rip it to pieces is still there. I can easily do it, but after that, what? Will she leave me? What about those people who have already seen it? Will they be okay? This uncertainty gnaws at me, knowing that she's real and might also go after the people I care about. I just wish someone would listen. Believe me, the abrupt break in the silence nearly made me jump out of my skin. Blindly, I fished out my phone from under the mess of papers and cushions, where I carelessly thrown it before taking a shower hours ago. Zach's name flashes brightly on the screen. Is he calm because of this afternoon? Frankly, it's the last thing I wanted to discuss, but I did leave the two of them there without saying anything. Knowing Zach, I bet he's worried.
Hey, Zach.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you're not gonna pick up.
Sorry, it took me a while to find my phone.
No worries. You game tomorrow?
I pause. I don't recall making plans with Zach for the weekend.
Did I forget something?
Remember that guy I told you about? Back in the movies? The, priest? For the blessing? Does it ring a bell?
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Did say that, but I didn't think he actually goes through the trouble, especially after what happened with this film. Sometimes I forget how kind Zach can be.
Yeah, I remember. Is he fine with it?
My friend doesn't mind. We're lucky he's not busy. So, tomorrow, he'll meet us at the mansion.
Okay. Sorry for the trouble, Zach.
Hey, no problem. I'm the one who suggested it to begin with. And, well, this afternoon you did surprise us. Never seen you scream like that. You scared the hell out of Rebecca.
I guess I owe you a lot for this, huh?
Nah, we're cool. You had us worried. But I know you'll tell us about it eventually.
What's up, Summer? How you doing, beautiful? Hope you're doing well.
I just want to make sure you're doing well. You left all of a sudden and you're not answering any of our calls.
He's trying to get me to talk. Normally, I tell him I'm fine. Say a few simple reassurances to put them on at ease. Happy New Year, girl. Happy New Year to you too, beautiful. Now, nothing will form. I can't bring myself to say anything. He seems to have sensed my hesitation because he immediately changed the subject.
Yeah, anyway, I gotta go. I left something on the stove before making this call. Just soup. But it'd be embarrassing if I burnt soup.
I'm good. Hope you are too. I am too.
I doubt it. Ashton, on the other hand...
Well, remind me to tell you about what he did with the pressure cooker next time. Oh, damn, it overflowed! Really need to get going. Bye, Bella.
He hangs up before I can thank him. The busy tone, though muffled, echoes through the receiver. No one is saying this will work. Even I am doubtful it will. But right now, I'll take anything. Anything to get out of this nightmare. Sleep comes easier tonight. And for the first time in a long time, I dream. A clear skies, of unrestricted laughter from children playing in the streets, and of small, cramped dwellings. To an outsider, the sight does not paint a pretty picture. However, this is home to me. October 23rd, Sunday. Okay. Morning dawns bright and clear the following day. Although the air still feels muggy and I miss the chilly autumn weather, it's one of those weird weekends when I'm up even before my alarm rings. If it wasn't for Zach's call last night, I'd probably sleep in. When 9 a.m. rolls around, I'm already on my way to the Emerald Mansion. To think that I'd have to go back again, I'd be lying if I say I'm excited. I don't have to anymore. Rose happily gave me paperwork duty when I volunteered. We're on the last phase of the sale too. Well, almost. Papers to sign, documents to finalize, various other legalities to settle with the current owner and all that still. Never mind that its new owners want everything done within the week, when the process typically takes more than that. They want it done, we'll get it done. I really don't understand rich people, but money can do wonders. I won't be surprised if they'll be able to push the process just a little more, like what they did to secure the house. The point is, I'm under no obligation to return to the house anymore. Running is an option, of course. I can now move on to another property and forget everything. However, at the end of the day, it's always my conscience that wins. What if something happened to those who have seen the letter? Ash, Zach, Becca, Miss Metallica, the Wrights. The guilt will follow me to my grave. The mansion looms as we approach. Whispers welcoming me back. Ugh, Jesus. Shadows calling. I hope this isn't the last time. They are engaged in a quiet conversation when I find them in the mansion's front gardens. But even with familiar company, it's impossible to feel at ease here. No matter who I'm with, the feeling of being watched is there, like the very place itself is aware of its trespassers. Zach, on the other hand, doesn't seem to notice. Or he simply doesn't care, or he's already used to it. I could never tell with him. Sometimes he's almost as hard to read as Ash. Almost. At least Zach doesn't ask for as much patience as dealing with Ash does, and that says plenty about him. Miracle of miracles, how the two have ended up the best of friends. He waves at me as I approach. True to his promise, Zach has also brought his friend with him. Father Norman. Somehow I expected him to look older.
Oh, don't be surprised. They say people who have found their calling are getting younger these days.
Sorry, Father. I didn't mean to say that out loud.
No offense taken. Though I admit I'm a bit surprised. I didn't think someone would ask this house to be blessed after all these years.
You've heard of it, Father?
In passing. The occasional rumors and talk by the locals, nothing new. You don't spend years serving the church here without hearing a random hearsay here and there.
You never mentioned what you thought of those, Father.
Ah, but he who goes down to the grave does not come up. He shall never return to his house, nor shall his place know him any more.
But what I saw...
May not be what you think. It depends entirely on what you mean by it. If you're talking about spirit beings, angels, demons, then yes. Are we talking about the spirits of people who have departed? The word makes it clear that once the deceased has left us, they are gone. But of course, I didn't come here to bore you with a lecture.
No, it was enlightening, Father. Thank you.
Just remember that a God who loves his children would never let them linger once the time comes.
That's what my papa often tells me.
Your father must be a good man. He raised you well, no doubt. Well then, shall we? Regardless of what it is, I'm sure the mansion's new owners would appreciate such sincere intentions. From a stranger, no less.
He lets Zach and I walk ahead. A relief. This way, he won't see how tightly I'm clutching the straps of my bag. Father Norman's probably trying to put me at ease, but the worry, the cold, restless, foreboding feeling has firmly lodged itself in my stomach, making its presence known with every step we take towards the house.
Hey, you okay?
Zach lightly nudges my side, careful, mindful of his motions, to avoid startling me, no doubt. It's hard to lie when Zach gives you that look. It's just there. The kind that implores a solid appeal. I'm not sure if he's even doing it concisely. Another breeze blows and I try not to shiver. Try not to listen to the voices that may or may not be there.
This place really gives me the creeps.
It doesn't seem more than an ordinary house to me, though. Damn, I should have brought my camera with me. I saw a few areas that'd be good for a shoot. You think the new owners will allow it?
Shh! What if you catch something? Or someone in one of the pictures?
It just means they want to be seen, doesn't it?
Don't ask for it.
It's not like we can stop them if they do.
You're really not helping, Zach.
All right. Sorry. Don't worry. I don't think whatever's inside this house will do anything. I'm here, yeah? I'll take care of them. Or I think I can.
You're not that scary, but thanks. I'll be sure to run behind you if I see one.
Ridiculous talk, though the temporary reprieve it leaves the lens is more than welcome. He offers me a smile in return, the least he could do, and with a slight motion of his head, he gestures for us to move ahead, while my own fears are left forgotten for the time being. The things inside my bag clatter softly against each other, while I rummage for the keys to the mansion. I should have heard the telltale jiggle by now, but didn't I put it in my bag last night? Seconds later, I'm sitting on my heels, and one after another, I'm taking everything from every pocket, every slip. It'll be a pain to put everything back later, but I'm sure it's just under these. Nothing. Oh man, of all the time to forget.
Is something the matter?
No, I'm sorry, Father. I think I left the key.
No, you've been coming up with excuses, and right after they've both taken the time to go this far away from the city. With a heavy sigh, I grabbed the door handle to pull myself up, a string of apologies ready at the tip of my tongue.
Careful, Bella!
We've spoken with the current owners. Well, technically, you're not yet the owners, but...
There's a brief moment of confusion, and then I'm following. The momentum of the door swinging open pulls me back first into the mansion's foyer before I can make sense of what's happening.
Ow, my back.
What the? Isabella?
No time to nurse my bruised back or make out excuses, because the next thing I know is Zach's gently pulling me up right by my arm. Rose looks down at me with a mixture of apprehension and something I couldn't quite place. I say it's relief, but... sheesh, good going, Isabella. Right after you volunteered to work on the papers. I'm standing behind her.
Ma'am Hannah! Mr. Wright!
Oh, Isabel. We always meet in the most interesting circumstances.
A complete understatement, darling. What are they doing in my house?
Abruptly, he waves his hand at Zach and Father Norman, with their presence a slight against his own.
I thought you said you wanted to do paperwork duty. What are you doing here?
Like a deer caught in the headlights. Unfair, Rose. That's putting me on the spot. And it leaves me no other choice but to answer.
The reason why I'm here?
Well, spit it out, Lily. We don't have all day.
I'm just here to make sure everything is fine before you move in.
I am so sorry, Mama. You said I'll go to hell if I lie. I likely will after this, but there's no other way. Well, it isn't entirely a lie. I'm here to make sure no one disturbs them after they move in. It just so happens that I'm checking for and trying to drive away is on of the paranormal variety.
The house appears impeccably fine to me.
Mr. Wright shifts his eyes around him in a careful manner, as if he's looking for faults in every crevice of the house. The grin on his face, though, when he returns his attention to me. It's similar to what my Kua Jordan had often given me when he was up to something. Usually a scare prank that inevitably ended in me crying. I never did forget the way my brother sneered at me then. Part of me thinks that, perhaps, if I hadn't been the object of his mischief in childhood, I would have grown a little braver.
Come on, little Lily. Lying doesn't do that cute little face any justice. I'm a very patient man. Now, why are you really here?
Right now, in the face of an almost identical expression, perhaps even crueler than what I'm used to, the lie I told falls apart.
The truth is, I was just thinking we could have the house blessed before move-in day.
And why would we ever need to have this house blessed?
For luck? And protection?
I shrink under his scrutinizing gaze for a second. I think that he'll start shouting at me. Until he laughs. Not the mocking Jerry kind, but one wondering if he's hearing things right. I say he was amused, but I honestly couldn't understand what was so funny with what I had just said. Was it really that weird? Wasn't it a custom here? I wish Becca was here to explain stuff like this.
That's rich coming from you. When we saw Devlin Court, you didn't.
It's a small custom back home. I thought it would be nice to do something that would bring positive energy to the mansion, since this place has been empty for years.
And the papers, Isabella? I hope you did those first before this.
Of course I did. It's almost done, in fact. But there are some items I still have to double-check before finalizing everything. You know I don't sign without a thorough inspection. And well, this is what this is for, too. I just thought it would be more efficient to do both at the same time.
Here I thought you didn't want to go back.
A job is a job, Rose. Gotta do what you gotta do to make a living.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then go ahead. No need to be so hard on her, Rosie. I personally think it's a nice touch. I was actually thinking of the same thing, but you beat me to it.
Darling, Buttercup, please. You know these things don't work. No offense meant to the holy man, of course. That does not express...
Oh, he said the M-word. Yeah, I'm not going to have him say that. I don't think that that's a good thing to say in the game chat, especially if it's like an RPG. He don't need to say that about my black friend. That's fucked up. Don't ever call my friend that word. All of a sudden, there's an awkward silence that even Rose, so what people seem reluctant to break. Like, you don't need to say the M-word to my black buddy. He haven't done nothing to you, bro. You racist shit. What is up with this guy? He acts nice, but when he sees my colored friend, it's a big deal. Although it started to do so is evident in the way her eyes nervously shift to Mr. Wright. Meanwhile, Zach's grip of my arm suddenly tightens. He doesn't say anything further, but there's a conflicted look on him when I glance up. That's the face he makes only when he desperately wants to give someone a piece of his mind, but chooses not to do so, mostly to avoid confrontation or fanning the flames to an argument. He has always been like this. Even among his own friends, he chooses to take a palicating stance despite holding opinions of his own. Not that I won't say anything. I know Mr. Wright's a client, but you can't just say that in front of other people. In front of Zach, no less. And if Ashton was here, I know he wouldn't stand for it. And neither do I. There was a reason why bullies back home never touched my younger brother again after I gave them a taste of their own medicine. He might be inches taller than me, but I'm pretty sure I can still land a hit or two. Maybe, if only I'm not going to get in trouble with BRC for it. But before any punch could be thrown, Ma'am Hannah cuts in.
Lucille Mitchell Wright.
In a voice too firm, demanding his complete silence.
What?
Instead of answering, she merely crosses her arms and shoots her husband a sharp, disapproving glare. That seems to have done the trick. He immediately shuts his mouth, but not before muttering a few inaudible words under his breath. Yeah, you know what you did wrong, you fuck. At this, Ma'am Hannah could only sigh and roll her eyes, more than happy to get back to the topic at hand.
I'm sure she knows what she's doing, love. She got us the house, remember? Who knows what a little positive vibe can do? It could even give us what we've been eagerly waiting for all these years.
What have we been waiting for? I don't think I was ever informed of.
Nothing you should worry about right now. Anyway, we've still got a few things we need to discuss with Rosie here. Over lunch? I hope you don't mind, Isabel. We'd love to take you with us, but...
Oh, no. Go ahead, ma'am. This'll take time. That's why there's two of us working on this.
Rose looks like she's about to murder someone. Probably me. At least she won't have to stay in the haunted property. She's getting the better end of this deal if anyone's going to ask. me.
Oh, wonderful. I hope the next time the three of us meet, it'll be over a closed deal,
Of course, ma'am. Please look forward to it.
Rose hurriedly hands me the keys to the house before leaving, melting reminder to secure the place in harmless threats for throwing her under the bus. I return it with a reassuring smile of my own, even as she's the one who often forgets. Sheesh. And just like that, gone just as quickly as they appeared, fleeting from one scene to the next and leaving me wondering if this is simply what's typical for the rich and famous. If so, I'd rather stay with my rundown apartment of our little shack back home. They're still enjoying the smallest things after all. With a house this big, it's not surprising when the ceremony takes a few hours to finish. The sun's already high by the time we've gone through the last room. I can never say I am a devout follower of my own faith, even with Mama and Papa's teachings. But hearing every word Father Norman uttered as we went around the house had put me at ease. All of a sudden, the mansion doesn't seem so scary anymore. Maybe there is an end to this? Perhaps this is the end? Father Norman bids us goodbye upon exiting the mansion grounds. He has business in the village nearby, he says, a minute gesture to reach out to the members of their parish every once in a while. Missing it. It reminds me of a distant memory of helping hands and a few kind smiles to help my family pull through what times were tough. But before he leaves, what's up, Farts and Crap Show? How you doing? I'm doing well. How about you?
Isabella, a word before I go?
Oh, God.
Zachary hasn't been really forthcoming with your situation.
Fourth leg
is
on this
something
one.
I understand it wasn't his to share.
2025. Same to you.
But whatever burdens you, know that it's not a permanent fix in your life.
What do you mean?
Besides, you have people to bear it with.
Okay. I bite back the harsh retorts before they come out, masking it with a smile as we wave the good priest off. Don't know what you mean by that, but okay. His words, though meant to comfort, has only left a bitter taste in my mouth. As if they don't believe you, what am I to do? Can't stay long, but I saw you were alive, so I wanted to pop in and wish you an awesome new year. Same to you, my friend. I appreciate you so much. A hand lands briefly on my shoulders, taking me into my thoughts before they take a sullen turn. My smile doesn't quite reach my ears when I turn to him.
Say, do you want to go somewhere?
Right now? Where to?
Anywhere in the city. I'll leave it up to you.
Should I take his offer? Yeah, I know, Zach.
I've got some stuff I need to buy. Groceries. And there's a shop I want to check.
Is it real food this time?
Let me guess. Rebecca?
She's just worried about you. Even I can't eat that much instant noodles.
Think of it as a talent. Let's just go, Zach.
I smile, a real one this time, devoid of any unpleasant thoughts. Regardless of what happened between us these past few days, I don't want to think harshly of them. Zach had me wait on a nearby bench upon arriving, prior to going off somewhere. He hasn't returned since, and it's been a good 20 minutes of being left alone entirely to my thoughts. In this weather, the city park gives off a lazier and more languid vibe than usual. While children are usually seen running around and playing, there are now people lying, leaning back on their picnic blankets, simply enjoying the afternoon sun. The smell of food drifts from nearby carts, and if the wind blows in the right direction, one would catch a sniff of freshly trimmed grass. I'd gladly sleep on this bench if I wasn't waiting for anyone. Soon enough, I see his hawk figure running towards me, carrying a medium-sized box on one hand and casually waving the other at me. He's panting when he reaches my bench. Sweat drips profusely from his forehead, but there's a grin on his face.
Sorry, the line was really long. Really long.
You didn't have to run. Sit down first.
Nah, I'm good. Didn't want to make you wait for these.
I already know what's in the blue box before he opens it. Oh, let's go. Cinnamon rolls, all 6 of them topped with a white cream cheese glaze. The very same one I bought after I sold my first property. After I met Zach, Ash, and Becca. Funny how such a small thing could trigger a distant memory, no matter how mundane it is. I don't say no to free food, but why is he getting me these now?
What for?
He leans on the empty space between me, wiping the sweat off his forehead before
An
answering.
apology. And as thanks for yesterday and the other day.
You don't have to buy me anything, Zach.
You were upset. You haven't been yourself recently, and people kind of miss that, you know?
Are you just saying that, or...
No, really. Rebecca told me. You know how she is. Ashton, too.
Ashton was an ass. He should have been named Ashhole instead.
He went a little overboard, yeah. I can talk to him if you want.
He'll still tease me about it, even if it's Rebecca telling him to stop.
You always do. And yesterday, when you talked me through my little slump, I thought, hey, I want our old Isabella back. Are you still upset?
There are times where, when I was sick, had been my big brother, Rebecca, my older sister, maybe life would have been a little easier then. Maybe Papa wouldn't be as sick as he is. Maybe I wouldn't be alone here. But then again, if they are what I wish them to be, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have met Ash too. Life back home is tough, but for all that, I wouldn't change it for one selfish wish. In this city of 68,000 people, I had people I could depend on. 3 of them, in fact. When you think about it, when you compare the numbers to the odds of finding someone like them, I miss the sea of nameless people. I'm lucky.
Thanks a lot for today, Zach. You didn't have to, but you did. I can always count on you.
Just me? No Ashton or Rebecca? Oh boy, they won't be happy to hear that. I don't mind being the favorite, though.
Nope, no favorites. But you cook better than both of them, so that's a plus.
It's always been food with you, ain't it?
Don't put it like that! You're making me sound like a glutton.
I'm not saying you are, but it does feel good to know there's someone I could invite for food to be able to eat all of it.
Only that? I thought we were also art buddies.
Oh, that too. But the food thing really stands out when you think about it. You do eat a lot for someone your, size.
Low blow. I take pride in my height.
So, is it okay now? Do you feel better? Does it still scare you?
A little. I'll be okay. I'll figure it out, somehow. It's not as bad as the other day, and Father Norman helped too. I should have brought something to thank him.
Oh, we could visit him anytime. He loves hearing from the young ones.
He isn't that old, is he?
Don't know. He doesn't tell. I think I might have seen his face somewhere before. I just couldn't recall when or where. Ash says he looks like his boss, or the bartender at the local pub if he squints. Don't take his word for it, of course. He might have accidentally inhaled something from the forensic lab again when he said that.
The tone of laughter that comes from both of us is genuine. Back to the usual. Things may not have been the easiest lately, but it certainly isn't the worst that has happened. We do not sharing the cinnamon buns between us, despite Zach's insistence that it's only for me. But more than the food, there is relief and commitment.
If you need anything, just ring, okay? Like when Ash annoys you too much. I'll help you with him, best friend or not.
No way. I can take him on.
Still an extra muscle wouldn't hurt, yeah? Just let me know, and I'll back you up. My sister knows this one thing to shut him up when he's being his usual self. Ask me what it is whenever you want, and I'll spill it.
I don't think that's necessary, but thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
He leaves me with a smile and a wave. And off to some new gig again. As for me, we still need to talk, Becca, Ash, and I. Put petty arguments aside like the adults we all are. This, however, is a start, no matter how small it may be. I just hope I can keep them safe. A little wind blows again, sending dry leaves swirling and the distant smell of earth into the air. For the first time, the sunlight feels less harsh. Maybe a walk is good? I need to visit the grocery store too. Come to think of it, wasn't there an art store that opened recently near the park? Excuse me. Excuse me. The cat's name is Berthuriel. Or at least that's what his collar says. Huh? It's an odd name to give a cat, in my opinion. But it speaks grace much like the one that carries it. It shows in the way he switches his tail and his eyes follow my hand's every movement. I'm not sure what he finds fascinating in me, to be honest. I wasn't the very picture of grace when he found me after all. It was a bad idea carrying 2 heavy bags of newly bought art materials and groceries without help or a sure ride at home. In hindsight, perhaps I shouldn't have bought all of these at the same time. I didn't even make it past the park. And now I'm suffering underneath the glaring afternoon sun. Alright, I gotta get going. Hope you have a good one. Same to you. Hugged up on the park bench, drenched in sweat, and the company of a cat curiously watching me every movement. I hope it stays where it is. It's just a black cat, but back at home, they're considered ill omens. They're not. Black cats are precious. I have one. He's my baby.
Don't look at me like that. I can act graceful as well if I want to.
Not that I've ever acted graceful in my life. Of course, growing up with rowdy younger brothers and a sister does that. Or maybe it's the opposite. Mama used to call me a little troublemaker before. Well, graceful or not. There was no more use moping. A short breather and then I'm off home. Besides, it isn't like the company's bad, even if it's a cat, as long as it doesn't bite or crosses my path.
Where's your owner, anyway?
He has one, doesn't he? An owner? That's what the collar's for, isn't it? A bandage is wrapped on one of his paws, though. I wonder what happened to it. Did he run away?
Well, if you don't have one, I won't be able to take you in. My apartment doesn't allow pets. I tried to bring one home before, a cat. Not black, of course. And Rebecca threw a fit before the landlady could.
I take a small packet of sweets from one of the bags beside me and pop it open. As I'm about to put one in my mouth, he meows. My hand stops.
Do you want one?
He doesn't meow again as I'm expecting him to, but I take his unblinking gaze as a yes. I shift the piece to my palm and hold it out to him wearily. He sniffs it once, twice before.
Barufia!
Oh, hello! Like a good, properly trained pet, Raphael responds as soon as he's called. Recognition comes as soon as my head snaps in the direction of the voice. Miss McCalligus, hard to miss with what her
I'm sorry. Did my cat hurt you? Miss Santos, was it? I'm surprised to see you here.
Nice to meet you again, Miss McCalla.
Were you harmed in any way? I'm sorry. Baruthiel's not exactly fond of other people. Even run away from the veterinarian right now.
Oh no, he was just sniffing my hand earlier.
My Baruthiel's a she.
She? All this time? I thought... My bad, I thought it was a he. The pause in conversation, if this can be called one, is uncomfortable. We're merely two people working different jobs for the same client. Frankly, meetings like this don't happen a lot, and if it does, a simple nodding of heads is enough. Still trying to be friendly, wouldn't hurt, right? I kept my tone cold on.
I'm actually surprised you have a cat, Miss McCalla.
And why exactly is that? There are a lot of people who have pets.
Yeah, but not a black one. I'm amazed you're taking care of one.
I don't understand what you're trying to get at. Is there a problem with my cat?
No, not at all. She's very sweet. Just in other cultures, aren't they a sign of bad luck?
Back at home it is. My grandmother used to tell me stories about it.
Nothing has happened to me so far.
Displeasure is evident on her face. Of course, I've forgotten that for the people, black cats are an omen of good luck. There you go again, running your mouth off, Isabella. I rack my brain for a way to remedy the situation, but she holds it.
This is a good place to stop and end this conversation, don't you think so? It is good to see you again, Santos.
Complete dismissal if I've ever heard one. I watch her as she leaves, though she stops shortly before crossing the threshold separating the room and the street. She faces me again, looking like there's something she has forgotten to say.
By the way, about the Ermengarde mansion. With my clients, it's the rights. I mean, I hope you don't mind me asking, but has the deal been finalized?
There's still a few papers they need, but the house is more or less theirs now.
Thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Wait, about the mansion.
The letter, same one they saw. Whoever she is, she's asking for help. Someone. I want to tell Mr. Callaghan that the Earth legends aren't just legends anymore. They're real. She's not gonna believe me.
Don't mind me. I need to go too. Have a good day, Miss McCullough.
I hastened to pack all the bags I left on the bench and ran it as far as my leg can take me. In that moment, when I'm carrying my hands way far lighter than the overwhelming guilt trying to consume me. Home. I want to go home. Anywhere where I won't be reminded of the house. Of her. Of my own cowardice. The food tastes less appetizing than the night. A pity. One would think that someone who had been on a continuous binge of instant noodles would find a home-cooked meal enjoyable. But it isn't. Hunger isn't what is gnawing at me tonight. Neither are my sore muscles. The TV runs loudly in the background. What it says barely registers in my brain. It's hard when the things you're trying to forget keep returning to the forefront of your mind. It distracts you, eats at you, devours you. I wish this would stop. Wish it wasn't the one who picked it up. I wish it was somebody else.
In other local news, a woman was found dead in her home yesterday evening.
Huh?
Luxbourne police officials are currently investigating the crime scene, but has classified the case as homicide.
Huh?
The victim, identified as Rose Pamela Cooper, 33 years old, working as a real estate agent.
No! No. Huh? Rose.
Discovered lying in a pool of blood in her two-bedroom flat with the words "Help me" repeatedly written on the walls.
No way. No. No. This isn't what I want. This is supposed to happen. None of this is supposed to happen. No one's supposed to die. Those are good stories, right? Legends. That's what everyone kept telling me, so what? And Immediately I rushed to my study table and searched my phone. My hand cold from dread, clinging tightly to it as soon as I touched its edges. A piece of folded paper, the letter, lying assumedly beside it, slips to the floor when I pick up the device. But I pay it no mind. There are more important things. Right now. I need to call her. I was with her. I was just with her not too long ago, and she was okay. No. It isn't Rose. I'm sure of it. I just talked to her, and a sob escapes me, and hot tears begin to blur my vision. One after another, they trickle down, weighing by the very same guilt I refuse to admit I've been carrying from the start. The same one I've been hiding from. The same one that has put the people I care about in danger. My hands shake as I navigate to Rose's number on my contact list. She'll answer, right? That's what she always does. She'll pick it up, tell me to turn down the waterworks, and call me a wuss afterwards.
She'll answer. Please answer, Rose.
Again and again I dial, whispering, praying.
Come on, Rose! Don't do this to me! Please pick up! I know you're there, Rose. You're not dead. Please tell me you're not.
This adds to the series of deaths and disappearances that has plagued Luxbourne in the recent years. The authorities are currently looking at a possible link with the notorious Anselm Butcher case.
TV runs loudly in the background, deafening static sounds from my phone's speakers. But in my ears I can only hear the screams. Her pleas, her whispers. Help me. We are not safe. October 24th, Monday. Buzzing sensation jolts me awake. My body still wants to sleep to forget what I heard, what I saw last night. But it's there, nudging, prodding at me. Slowly, I become aware of how awkward my position is, and the aches that accompany sleeping in a curled-up position the night before. If I even slept at all. The memories are impossible to forget now that Rose is gone. They say it's easier when you say it out loud. Instead, the words weigh heavier on me each time. She's gone. Gone because of me. Gone because of one letter I was too curious to look at. I should have been more careful. I should have just kept my mouth shut. I should have destroyed it before anyone else has gotten involved. I should have. Notification lit on my laptop blinks incessantly, mockingly when I look at it, as if it's calling me back to a sense of normality. I shook it nevertheless, out of habit more than anything. In light of the recent events, there will be an all-staff emergency meeting from 1 o'clock p.m. to 2 p.m. Attendance is a must. Company changes new hierarchy policies and will be discussed during the meeting. Everyone is expected to bring a copy of their own attendance logs and sales reports for the last 6 months to be submitted to your respective managers for reviews. We are expecting everyone's cooperation. If this were one of those typical days, I'd happily comply and get myself to our office. Today my limbs just feel heavy. On one hand, going will keep me busy, take my mind elsewhere. On the other, the place in itself is a stark reminder of what my own fears had cost me. I should just go to work. Moping won't get me anywhere. This is just like one of those things, isn't it? You deal with it with a smile, no matter how bad things get, and hope for the best. Though my whole body feels like lead and my limbs are sore, I push myself away from the chair and head for the shower. The letter I dropped on the floor last night flutters open as I pass by, unfolding for no one else but me to see. Every word written on it glares back at me. They sneer. They ridicule. Like living beings fully aware of what they've done. With a huff, I pick it up and shove it into my bag. Perhaps with more anger and frustration than I'm used to showing. This too I'll deal with. Somehow I'll find a way to make things right. I have to. For it takes more people from me. Even if I must do it on my own. People rustling, telephones ringing, feet shuffling. Overall, the day looks like a typical working day at Briar Reality Corporation. Except it isn't. The air is thick with tension and unspoken questions. No doubt everyone present has already heard of it rolls. They missed last night's report. Why? If you want your...
I can extend your warranty.
Nabi.
Two.
You like chocolate?
Double chocolate muffins. Double chocolate muffins.
Do we have any chips?
No.
Oh wow.
No, it doesn't. I'm trying to get that pot of gold that can or whatever.
Love you. Everywhere's a better reminder. In fact, everyone's giving me a wide berth, as though the more mix of roles would be enough to trigger something in me. Well, it's appreciated, but it only serves to create a bigger hole in the place Rose has left. Afterward, my boss calls for a meeting. I don't have to look up from my work to know what it is about. He's in a strange, pensive mood today, probably out of respect for a dead colleague. Oddly, I appreciate more if he just shouted at me today. Anything is
I'm
better.
sure you've all heard of what happened to Miss Cooper. She was a valued member of our team and she will be missed. There's no date for a funeral, yet, but those who wish to attend, kindly speak with your respective supervisors. By the way, Has anyone heard about our still AWOL staff? None? HR, you know what to do. Santos, a word? In my office?
At the end of it, I've been given the entry of Rose's workload, including finalizing the right papers, and have been promised an amply completion for my efforts. I think he's expecting me to be happy, but instead I immerse myself in my work. I have to anyway, if I want to forget. Employee of the month. Be a good employee and go to work. Okay, cool. Time flies when you do it, and by the time I give notice, it's already late. Everybody's already gone, leaving me in the company of a radio and a member of our janitorial staff. I don't even know his name. Rose likely does. She remembers people easily like that.
The Luxbon Police Department continues its search for the following reported missing people.
Radio blares one after another. Hold on a second. Missing? Aren't they? Still, I have to check. Frantic, I turn back on my desktop. The loud tap of my fingers against the keys fills the office for the better part of my shift. I look through everything. The background, but the place is history from the current owners and list of employees hired under BRC. And I'm right. Of course I am. BRC may have a lot of staff. They may have a lot of agents hired, but I remember those names anywhere. After all, they're also part of the crew who worked with us in preparing the mansion for the open house. Oh no! Then the leathers? No, that can't be. I hope it's not what I'm thinking.
But Rose is...
Something snaps into place in the fraction of a moment. These people. Rose, the leather.
I need to... No. If it's like this, they still won't believe me. I have to make sure of it first.
Evidence doesn't lie. That's what Ash often says, right? If I have proof, then maybe. I don't want to get my hopes up yet. Maybe there's still a way I can save them. Leather, my phone, papers, anything that will be useful. I grab all of them and stuff them in my bag. I can't stay here. There's something I need to do. There's something these people should... The noise cut sharply through the room, stopping my hand short of cramming a pen into my bag.
Hello? Anyone there?
Someone must have left their printer open again. I may be in a hurry, but I can't. But if I don't turn it off, then that person is certainly going to have a fit tomorrow over wasted company resources. Most of the time, it's Rose who does the nagging, but the clicking of my pen in my hand is a welcome distraction as I search for the said object. Each stride my feet takes also echoes throughout the empty workplace. I've lost sight of the janitor minutes ago, and with me being the only one left, the tapping of my feet against the wooden floor is something I soon learned to appreciate. It doesn't take me long to find it. By the time I turn it off, 5 pages are already strewn about on the ground, the paper tray having also been left ajar. Sighing, I pick each of it up to put someplace proper, but the page that greets me next makes my blood run cold. The chill that makes its way up my spine is as numbing as that day in the attic. The sheet crinkled in my tense grip. All I could hear is my breathing as it rasped through my gritted teeth. Before I could even gather myself, take the first steps out of here, total darkness suddenly envelops me. As if hearing every horrid thought running through inside my head right now, something snaps. I stop grating through the thin vial of stillness that has descended in the room. Every muscle, every bone in my body goes ripping at the sound. Familiar, so familiar now. Yet my own traitorous curiosity still presses me to take a careful peek over the cubicle's wall. Dude, it's her, standing in the only exit of the office, about facing away from me. She doesn't even need to turn around for me to know it's the same emaciated face, tattered clothes, and unsightly gap. The same person in the attic. Take a step back, the pen I'm holding slips from my hand, and her entire head turns. Dude, what the fuck? I scream and almost escape my mouth, and I jump under my table as soon as I can. My heart is pounding hard against my chest. I can hear the bone chilling sounds of her walk the weird clicking that follows her, and telltale squelch of something wet as she walks towards me, nearer and nearer. The sounds are slowly getting louder. The only thing keeping the whimper from escaping me is my hand as it comes to my mouth. Someone please save me. Anyone. Close my eyes, muttering a continuous stream of prayers, all while attempting to steady my own breathing. Please, please don't let her hear me. It's about to start the point at the right time. Huh? What? Huh? Lose a QTE. I wasn't trying to.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Like the last lines of my prayers had left me, all that remains is a hush. None of her footsteps nor those chilling sounds she makes. Only silence. Is it safe? Another second passes, and when nothing comes. What? Oh, God! Hold on. Hold up. Can I? Okay. Oh my god. Bitch! I can't do that shit! Okay, hold on. Try again. Keep going, keep going. Okay, we'll skip that. Damn it. I can't do that shit.
Our Father.
Damn it. Damn it. Bro. Damn it. Try again. Bitch, what? God. How am I supposed to do this? Okay. Bitch, get in my face. There's no way. Bruh. All this over her to hear me. God. Oh. was so close. Damn it. I can't. Oh my god. I'm gonna get gangbanged by this ghost all the time. Oh, it's so close. Oh god, I'm going. What if I don't? What if I don't do it though either? With that. God. That's hard. Yes. Fuck me, my life.
Hello.
Come on, try again. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Fuck. Oh my god, it was so close. God. Oh my god. It worked. Oh, did I get? Made a stretch it before she gone. Slowly opened my mouth to take a peek. Don't dare move or make a noise. Dude. In the face of such terror, I can only beg. Little silent plea to whoever's out there. Please, please don't let her know this. I want to live. Hannah. Huh? What? Huh? It is far too easy to get them to pay attention, enraptured. They hang on to my every word and follow my every move. All but would have been stifling had I not grown used to such stares. Most are respectful, some are hostile, if we are honest. And a few are downright inappropriate. After all,
On a right!
There is a moment of agonization as his familiar but less than welcome face approaches me with a suggestive smirk on his face. Of course I have to keep a smile and greet him as I greet any good friend. After all, this man can turn heads, being famous in his own right.
Officer Lee! What a pleasant surprise. I didn't think you'd have the time to attend tonight's party.
He's more Luke's friend than mine, really, and I ain't quite sure I only invited his wife. Mostly, I am only friends with the chief inspector because of Luke. Luke is only friends with Rochelle because of me. I like how I treated Lee, however. Luke never had his animosity for the Lee metric. It was an odd sort of friendship where we would have awkward double dates. I don't even recall his first name. His third was an N, I think. I might be wrong. What's up, Joanna? Aside from being Chief Inspector. Whoop. LeBron Police's wife Rochelle, leading the advance, owns a General Electronics company, fridges and freezers mostly. Happy New Year to you too.
Oh, I always have time for my favorite socialite couple. Might I say, you look positively ravishing tonight. I see the husband isn't with you.
Well, he eyes me up is enough to make my skin crawl. All the best for the new year. Same to you. I guess wish Luke is here to fend off the more unseemly of our peers. You know the ones. Men who are just a bit too friendly, staring too long at my assets and getting close just because my husband is not here. And to think they have the gall to do this at my own party. In my own house, if I might add. But like any high society woman worth her salt, I know how to handle it with grace and dignity.
I suppose you are looking pleasant as well. Luke's busy with work, unfortunately. Rochelle isn't here?
A shame. I do hope he isn't causing you much trouble. That husband of yours can be a bit daft sometimes, acting like he's still some young bachelor. The wife sends her regards and her apologies, but something came up with a doctor and she needed to attend to it. You know her, being pregnant and all.
We make small talk. Rather, I'm forced to do so, as he would not leave my side after finding his place here. Much to my chagrin, I've been extravagant from the few who flock in hopes of flattering, for I can tolerate them far better than Lee. He is a nice enough person, and I adore his wife, who is obviously the brains behind the two. But there is something unsettling about him. I do not trust him as much as I want to. He regaled to me tales of the Lebaron Police Department, a different affair to the unusual gossip I am privy to, and though I loathe to admit, it's interesting nonetheless. I expect the topic of business to die quickly, which would be understandable enough due to the confidential nature of his work. But oh boy, was I
So,
wrong.
wearing civvies, I steal and drive off with one of the police mobiles, right? In the mirror, I see the new tank chasing on foot and screaming about theft. The look on his face was priceless when I parked it in the garage.
Oh my. You made him chase you all the way home for a prank. What did Rochelle have to say about that?
Rochelle has a strange love and hate affair with Lee. He is a married man who did not grow up past his early 20s, judging by the way he acts. Surprisingly enough, they've been married for a good 20 years. A lifetime, if you compare it to my marriage of 7 years with Luke. I, on the other hand, well, Luke is no Lee. I should be happy about that, I suppose. Although my darling did have his moments.
Hey, the wife pulled my ear and gave me a good talking to, though. Besides, we live in a flat a block away, so it wasn't much of a grand chase.
Weren't you living in a house near the countryside?
Moved for work, you know. Or you probably don't.
No, I don't. But a flat in downtown? I suppose if that's what you like.
Oh, it's horrid. Hate that tiny place, no matter how convenient it can be for work. 55 square yards are not enough when you need to get away from the wife. I wouldn't mind a place away from the city. Even started looking at the ads. I spied an interesting lot, actually. Heard it was finally put up for sale, or that something mansion. You know the one with all the ghost stories.
I know what he's talking about. There are really only a few urban legends around here.
The Ermagood Mansion?
That's the one. Worthy of a king it is. I'd buy it myself, but Rochelle would only gripe if I brought it up to her. Not to mention all the expenses a place like that will be a real fixer-upper. You also have to find someone willing to work there with how superstitious people can be.
If it becomes a problem, just hire someone to do an exorcism.
Actually, I do know of someone who could be up to the task. You remember the Ludgates party at their Christchurch summer residence?
Of course. It was an excellent soiree. Everything was so classy, too. Such good taste.
Oh, that place was a pigsty until they hired out this interior designer and they turned it into a bloody palace. She worked for the Exodus for their apartment in Soho too, and they recommended her when we were looking up pieces for our beach house in Porto Colom. I think I have a business card right. No, I must have left it in my other jacket. Anyway, she's called, what's her name, McCullough, Marianne, I believe, yes. But truly, if anyone were to get that place in McCullough, well, they'd be the envy and the talk of the town.
Well, if you put it that way, I might just snatch it up for myself. This place was starting to feel a bit small lately anyway.
Sure, 3-story penthouse might not fit the definition of small for some people. Okay, maybe a lot of people. But it isn't big enough to have grand parties in. And it is, I only invited about 3 people to this one, and it already feels cramped in here. It certainly wouldn't be nice if I didn't have to ride an elevator up and down several floors before I can get anywhere as well. All Luke's words, not mine. Besides, I've been looking for a good anniversary gift. Luke might like this one. Where is he anyway? October 21st, Friday. Luke is dressed to the nines as he usually is, and he looks ready for whatever the day will throw at him. His butler and valet wait at his side just in case he isn't as ready as he looks. Oh, sure, that is normal. What confusing me is the fact that he's on his way out of the penthouse, considering we won't be anywhere to go until much later.
Where are you going?
I am to attend the Triad Autumn tasting. I do believe I informed you of this 2 weeks ago.
Yes. And might I remind you that I had stricken that off your schedule? Because 1, the doctor told you to stop consuming so much alcohol. And 2, I informed you a few days ago about the open house we are going to attend in its place.
Happy fucking New Year's, babe.
Happy New Year's.
I haven't kissed you since last year, so. Love you.
Love you too.
I've even found this marvelous interior designer, Mary Ann McCullough.
It's a 3.5-hour drive to Cardiff. I don't have time for this.
Hold on, guys. Hello. Not much, how about you? Happy New Year. I am just playing a horror game and relaxing. Yeah, I did. Well, yesterday, technically, but yeah. How was work for you? What's wrong? Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I would say. Yeah. What time? Okay. Wait, what kind of salads are you having? Okay, thank God. I don't like carrot salad. You don't have to, it's up to you, I'm just saying. Okay. Alright, love you. Bye. I don't have time for this.
This is like that little party you threw all over again. You don't inform me of it, and you expect me to stay and be a gracious host when I have business elsewhere. You know how I operate, Hana. Unless this was penciled in, I am sticking to my schedule.
If I may intrude, the madam is correct. Your physician did insist you moderate your drinking, unless you wish to incur acute pancreatitis. And you did have this open house penciled in last Wednesday morning.
Bullocks, I don't remember doing so.
Well, you did. While very hungover, in fact.
He did. moaned about me being too loud, but gave in after some pushing. Perhaps that was a bit too cruel and manipulative of me, but...
Whose side are you on?
Come on, Luke. You promised we'd do whatever I want this weekend.
Gordon Bennett, fine. I am giving this house tour of yours a chance. But if it proves to be a waste of time, I am going to Cardiff, and you are going to take a cab home. Are we clear?
It's a bit of a husband and wife tit for tat, isn't it? All couples have other arguments. Once the honeymoon phase is over, and as they seem to call it, reality sits in that you and your partner might not always see eye to eye. Perhaps it has been the years. 7 of them is nothing to scoff at.
I just cannot bloody believe I agreed to this. I was really looking forward to the triad tasting.
Though sometimes I think it's something a bit more than just simple disagreements, and I have to stop myself from wondering where we went wrong.
There's always the Triad Christmas tasting in Manchester next month, and that'll only be an hour-and-a-half drive.
Have I been neglectful? Have I been offended? Have I acted shamefully?
Yes, but Cardiff...
Certainly any problem can be discussed. As long as he doesn't turn me
Well,
away.
there goes my good mood. Are you happy now, Hana?
Why must he treat me this way?
Yes, I am very happy, Luke. Because for once in a very long time, we are doing what I want. I'm ecstatic. Understood? And this would be perfect if you stop acting like a child who needs their nappy changed. We will be leaving after lunch for the Ermengarde mansion. You are going to park your rear in the car and keep mum. And you are going to behave during the tour.
Needless to say, Luke looks a bit shocked at my little outbursts. He opened and closed his mouth a few times, struggling to reply, before he crosses his arm to look like, well, a moping
Any
child.
more rules for this little excursion of yours, Your Highness?
No wine.
No wine? Unacceptable! I am already not allowed to the tasting, and you would deprive me of that simple pleasure?
If I see you take one sip today, I will put the stocks under lock and key. Do you understand me?
Don't forget the bottles he keeps in his dresser.
Whose side are you on?
How many times in one day can you ask that?
As many times as I need you, traitor.
I ride to the mansion in quiet, with Luke having stared out the window the entire way, not paying attention to anything around him. Meanwhile, I am conflicted. I don't know if I should apologize for changing his plans like that, but by the time we arrive at the mansion, I see his eyes light up in genuine interest. Apologizing is the last thing on my mind. The whole affair with the Emerald Mansion is certainly an interesting experience. The place had been renovated and restored by the owners to what they claim to be acceptable standards. The mansion itself seems like something befitting a fairy tale or period piece. Tastefully decorated and with a little bit of love and attention, I'm sure it can be a place Luke and I can call home. And a number of other prospective buyers, that have come from the powerful and wealthy of La Berne certainly does not disappoint, marking this estate as prime property. The Lees are amongst the group who went with the Rose woman, and I saw a few other notable faces, though I did not really feel like mingling. Fortunately for every one of them, the Brights are interested in buying. Wheel and Woo. Start chapter 2 with a good standing with Luke. Nice. What's been bugging my mind, however, is that Isabella. What is her problem? I still don't quite understand what is happening. One moment she scrambled to give us the paperwork to finalize the sale. Then she is panicking over some sort of prank with her or something.
Dear me, is Isabella alright?
Isn't it apparent with the way she shakes and by the pallor of her skin? Something has really shaken her up.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
I am worried, but it will be best if she is attended to by someone more familiar to her like her partner. But even then, the girl refuses Rose's offer drink and looks just about ready to make a run for it.
No, I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me, I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
And she does so, just as I predicted, and our partner follows like a concerned mother. There is an awkward air among us as we left in the wake of whatever that was. The others murmur and gossip with each other, speaking of the poor, daft girl and telling the tale to whoever was not audience to the act in the first place. It doesn't take too long for the woman Rose to return and pull us aside into the study for what I rightfully assume is damage control. Rose invites Mariana in too, hoping to apologize to her as well. But the woman refuses, saying she is not one of her clients anyway. That leaves myself, Rose, and Luke, the last all too eager to make herself comfortable in a study he's no doubt already claimed as his
I can't
own.
apologize enough about what just happened. Please forgive Isabella. She's been under a lot of pressure lately. She's young, and all those rumors about this being haunted just got to her head. And it must be this terrible heat, too. Not a drop of rain for days now.
Are you sure it is wise to just let her go like that? Where is the poor dear? She might get hurt.
She's more likely to hurt somebody else, given what just happened.
I told her to sit down and take a break. Already rang someone to pick her up, too.
That might be for the best, dear. But please, we're here to talk about the mansion, yes? Why, I absolutely adore it. Don't you, Luke? Some of the rooms will certainly have to be repurposed. We want to change the appliances and have Marianne lead on the decor, but the whole thing is just lovely.
I guess. It's certainly a lot roomier than our penthouse.
I hope Isabella's okay.
Exactly. Lots of space for guests, parties, a lot of room for little ones to run around too.
Let's not discuss that right now, Buttercup. Anyway, I do think it would be a shame to let this mansion slip past us.
But you haven't even finished touring the house.
Well, we like what we've seen.
I'm making her job easier for her, am I not? No need for loans or long price negotiations. We can just sign a contract and close the deal. Really, you think the woman would be more than happy about an easy sale. I know how these estate agents work, how long they have to wait, and how much they had to spend even just for a single sale. Why, she should be jumping for joy by now. I'm sure the commission of this mansion is nothing to sneeze at, even if she has to feel it with the Isabel
Do
girl.
you think we could have horses here?
Yes, those do sound nice, love. Anyway, if anyone else is interested in buying this property, I assure you that I'm able and willing to give a better offer.
A vineyard would be nice. Or maybe
And we do reward our people quite generously, Rose. So, if I were you, I would start on that paperwork.
helicopter pad.
I paused, and there was a small moment of complete silence where Rose and I just stared incredulously at Luke. It is an unspoken understanding, a rule between the two of us that we had to put on an act. With our social standing where image matters, it's also important to avoid making enemies. And to follow this rule is an easy feat for me, from youth. I had been the well-trained social butterfly, gracious and graceful. Luke, on the other hand...
Wait, what, Luke? No, what? Whatever would we need a helipad for?
Well, he likes to play the fool sometimes, even if he is anything but. It struck me a weary smile. I shake my head and beckon Rose over. This is be our home, and there is nothing she or anyone else can do to change my mind. This is a place that speaks of power and importance, and, at the same time, a safety and comfort. Perhaps we can even have our family here. This is definitely no better gift than this for a special date. Why, everything here is absolutely wonderful. Well, except for this ugly painting in the study. Oh, God. It looks like a bad fake of a Edvard Munch painting.
Here's the deal. I'm willing to pay 10% higher than your listing price. If anyone tries to outbid us, just add another 5%. I doubt anyone can, of course. Or, you know what? Just add 15% to the listing price, and we can sign all the paperwork now.
I guess, if that's what you want. That won't be any trouble. I don't have all the papers now. Didn't think this would be a quick sell. I'll have copies sent to you so you can look over them. And if you'd still like to finish the rest of the tour with Isabella's group, You're more than welcome to.
No, I think we're good here. We'd appreciate a private tour of the place a lot more, I think.
All right. Should I let Marianne in, then?
Marianne? Oh, right. She's been waiting outside the study this whole time, hasn't she? I'll need to have a little chat with her to move this little mansion project
Please
forward.
do.
There is a lot of apprehension when the other woman enters the study. Yet, like a professional, I see the moment when she steals herself and masks her worry. Admirable.
We have this project, then?
Of course. Will you be needing anything from us?
Having the floor plans would be a great start, just so that I can look at them beforehand. And if you could tell me when you're available for a meeting so that I can include it in my calendar?
Oh, is a meeting really all that necessary, Marianne? I guess we can send Johans to help you out. You two can start by getting rid of this ugly painting.
A hush falls upon the room at my request.
What painting?
And lo and behold, the painting is gone. What the f... In its place, a mirror stands, which leaves me to look at my own confused expression.
Odd. Well, no matter. Back to the topic at hand. Marianne, dear, we are simply far too busy to meet up.
Or perhaps maybe I should.
But I guess we can free up a day to meet with you. I don't really need another Maudlin Monday reading about Maury anyway. The book club can function without me for one day. What time shall we be seeing each other? How does lunch sound?
Besides, my house is a higher priority over book club, while we can hold the next meeting in this place. Surely the beauty and grandeur of it all will inspire spirited and lively debates about whether modern day writers could catch up to the classics. I might as well clear out the rest of my week to handle whatever affairs buying this mansion requires of me. Any social activity can be put off until the emigrante, or rather the Wrights mansion's great debut. I'll have my fill of great parties and gatherings, especially when I organize them myself.
That sounds good. Although, with a project of this scope, we might need most of the day to tackle your concerns. A more thorough inspection of the place is also preferable.
Breakfast, then. It's a date.
It's really not.
All right. Monday. 10 o'clock sharp. We'll see you then.
Actually, Marianne suggested that we meet at 9, but who is even awake at that on the holy hour? I was lucky enough to wake up this morning before Luke went all the way to Cardiff. We say our goodbyes, shake hands, and make it clear without outright saying it that we now own this house. By the time we left the mansion grounds, the sunset is almost upon us.
So, you really want to buy this place then? That's a bit of a big impulse buy, even coming from you. Not that I'm complaining.
I feel elation when I hear those words from him. Not every day one is able to please someone like Luke. He gives away false flattery to sway those who strive for his attention and approval. But in the privacy of closed doors, he would often express his grievances. He either censored himself in front of me, nor spared me from his criticism.
You have been saying the penthouse was getting a bit too small for you. Happy anniversary!
Oh. That time of the year already?
He forgot about it last year, too. I understand that he's a busy man, but...
Is that why you want to buy it?
Yes. You don't like it?
I do, but I remember you used to talk about how you wanted to live next to the beach.
Botany Bay, Kent. I remember the sea, water that stretched on for miles and miles, as far as the eye can see. As a kid, I loved our beach trips, swimming all day as much as I could. I was a well-behaved child, and the only time I was ever truly difficult was when I refused to get out of the waters, even when my fingers had got all wrinkly. Even when they managed to pull me out of the water, there was always sand castles. The day before we married, I told Luke that I wanted a house on a beach and a dog, and a kid or two. None of them came true 7 years later.
That was a childish dream. Living next to the beach is so impractical if you really think about it.
I don't know. It's not a bad thought to see you in a bathing suit every day.
Maybe another time, love. We still have forever, don't we?
They say nothing, only grabbing my hand and holding it tight, and spend the rest of the ride home in silence. I meant to see. Sick and hovering over the loo at 3 in the morning, the picture I paint right now is hardly glamorous. A horrible fishy taste is left in my mouth as I throw up what I have for dinner, and I eat the extra stench that fills the lavatory. The burning sensation at the back of my throat is of no help whatsoever. I can feel their wave of nausea come out on me when the door opens.
Hannah, what are you doing so early out of bed?
Is she pregnant?
I'm fine, love. I must have just eaten something bad.
That's all I meant to say before vomiting again into the porcelain throne. Is she pregnant? Lovely.
Just go back to bed, Luke. I'm going to clean up here.
I freak to look at him. I don't want him to see me like this. The last time I had a horrible morning retching into a toilet was during my college years, being the life of the party. Thoughtless and shameless, I had thrown away months to frivolous merriment and pointless hookups. Didn't even retain any of the connections I had made from that time, Surely they still know of me, and I still know of them, and we still do business from time to time. But I lost touch with anyone who I didn't see on a daily basis. I hardly have any of the friends I had when I was still Hannah Evans, teachers, fellow university students, drinking buddies, and old conquests like Jack.
No, don't touch me, sweetie. It's disgusting. I'm disgusting.
Luke sits next to me on the toilet floor to hold my hair even as I cough up more fish. No. He wipes the vomit from the corner of my mouth and just stares.
Do I need to fire someone? I don't feel sick.
Just feeling a bit under the weather, dear. It's been unbearably hot as of late, hasn't it? I do wish it would rain.
Are you sure it wasn't those sweets? I told you not to eat those sweets.
Maybe. Well, don't laugh.
Well, I can't help if you make that sort of face.
He starts chuckling, and soon enough, he's in a fit of laughter. The scene happening next to a little field with sick just makes the whole thing bizarre, and it nearly makes me start giggling as well. I try to stifle it though as I smack him on the shoulder.
I'm not making a face, Luke. Stop laughing. Shut up.
When he would not stop laughing, I let myself go as laughter bubbles from my own throat, and I forget whatever ill feelings plagued me. We are just humping away, laughing together at a funny face, the little things in life. I let myself go because I know that these moments will not last forever. But I just know the terrible things there are to come for us. I would have wished with everything I have them, and there that the laughter stayed. October 26th, Wednesday.
Hiya! Come on now!
The place is bustling with movers carrying furniture here and there, along with several trucks of personal belongings taken from our penthouse. Luke watches them like a hawk, making sure nothing is handled carelessly or gets stolen.
Careful now! I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by African Blackwood and are one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings. Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you lot make.
Luke, do the dishwashers go into the kitchen or the butler's pantry?
Pantry, Buttercup. Careful, that's Emma. No, you there, put that down. You do not manhandle a Napoleon Abueva.
I can see the expiration, and I have to send the foreman an apologetic glance. Even Jonas rolls his eyes as he goes by. Considering Luke is always like this during a project, Jonas and I have gotten used to it. Poor Marianne, on the other hand, looks a bit stressed at seeing the gigantic mess before quickly going back to work. Everything just has to be perfect, exactly the way he wants it. One little thing at a place, and one little thing that didn't fit the image he clearly constructed in his head, and Luke gets bent out with
Sweetie, why don't we go and sort your suits upstairs? Let your Hans and Marianne and the foreman deal with the rest of the work.
We have this, Mrs. Wright.
Yes, please do go before a blood vessel bursts. Bloodstains are so troublesome to clean.
Taking him by the hand, I lead him upstairs into our bedroom. Wow, this place has been arranged first so that we can get some rest. no matter what state the rest of the mansion is in. I'm definitely glad I can just lie down on the soft, comfy bed after what has been a busy morning. Watching Luke act like his life depended on getting this move done is tiring all on its own. And to think I have a whole day of this ahead of me. I feel the bed dip beside me as Luke sits down with the
Well, I can't wait for this to be over.
I don't know. It's fun seeing you all fired up. Here at home and not at work, you know.
You know I can't always be home, Hana. I have a company to run, unless you've forgotten.
I haven't forgotten. You're the one who insists on being there to make sure each and every little thing is under control. I just really miss you sometimes, and I wish you were at home more often. Why, if you're not careful, I might go a bit loopy and I'll start bringing cats home. And soon enough, one day you'll find yourself going home to a farm just filled with felines that follow you everywhere.
Oh, don't bluff. The things would shred up your precious furniture. Besides, you don't even like cats.
True, true. Dogs are infinitely superior, of course.
But what about the wet dog smell? The mess? I'm not cleaning up after a mutt, no matter how cute. If you think about it, a cat would be better.
We laugh. Not always that we just lie down and talk about these sorts of things. We joke around as if we're teenagers again, with very little problem in the way of responsibilities and roles. To hear his genuine, honest to goodness laughter is a rarity. This is just the second time it's late, and I can only see it as signs of good things to come.
All good points. I guess we could just have kids. That is, if you prefer dealing with soiled nappies and sick as opposed to dead birds, mice, and litter boxes. I've already told Marianne about turning the second bedroom into a children's room.
I guess sometimes I don't know when I'm crossing a line. Didn't say that I am a good comedian, did I?
Not this again.
What? I wasn't being serious.
It's not something you take the piss out of. Having a kid is a big responsibility, Hana. We've talked about this, haven't we? I'm not ready to be a parent. I'd probably end up killing the little brat by the week's end.
What should I say? I feel guilty and uneasy even bringing the topic up. This isn't the first time I brought it out there. Saying we've been married for 7 years. I should have learned my lesson. Talking about it has gotten me disapproval. After all, this is one of the surefire ways to get Luke into a terrible
I'm
mood.
sorry, but I do think you...
Don't finish that sentence, Hana. Just don't. We know how this discussion ends. Let's not fight over what-ifs and if-onlys.
But what if we are going to have a family, Luke? What then?
I just told you. No what-ifs.
We won't talk about it until you're ready.
Let's not talk about it then. Ever.
The silence that follows is stifling. I avert my gaze from him, favoring the view of our four-poster bed, overseeing his embittered expressions. Just thinking of how insensitive I am for bringing it up makes me feel sick to my stomach. We stay still, neither of us dare make the first move to leave. Till a crash from downstairs cuts through the tension.
Oh, bloody hell, what is it now? I can't get away for 10 minutes without someone mucking something up! That better not be what I think it is! I know it's only an 8 million yen vase, but I swear, I'll
stop it as he storms off. It doesn't even bother to look my way. Yet I can still feel his eyes boring into me. What's up, Sniper? Happy New Year. Alone as per usual. I really should be used to it by now. I can feel the minutes tick by with me just lying there, feeling miserable and full of self-pity. I rolled over to lie my stomach at this point with my face buried into the pillows when there's a knock at the door. Grumbling at them to go away doesn't work as a voice comes from the other side.
The photographer from Luxury Living is here.
Wait, is that today? Oh yes. People had caught wind of our new mansion the very moment we left the open house. Luke had boosted he would acquire the property in no time, and let a photo shoot for an interior design magazine to be scheduled today. But there were complications, and it took longer than it usually does.
In a minute, Hansi.
Johannes. if you could at least make it through the end.
Tell them I'll be right down, Hansi.
The mansion grounds have been one of the first things to be fixed up, aside from the bedroom. Although it's still a work in progress, it had a promising start, and I can already see the flower patches. Luke's flavored daffodils stand so easily have been transplanted from the pots that used to litter the rooftop of our penthouse. Why, if the moving crew thought that Luke was being hard on them, they clearly didn't see the landscape on his way out. The man looked like he was ready to faint, and Luke seemed ready to kill him by the end of their discussion. It is in the garden that I see him standing near the flowers in a quiet admiration. Oh, Zach! He is hard to miss, the hulk of a man that clearly did not belong, and a big backpack and suitcase he has with him make him look much larger. It's a peculiar sight seeing someone who looks like he does handling little delicate things with such care. He looks up from the gardens and does a double take before a friendly face replaces his sincere expression.
Miss Wright, yeah? Hi, Zachary Steele here from Luxury Living, ma'am. Hope you weren't waiting too long. But it looks like you're still moving in, huh? Thought for a second there my calendar was wrong and I came here too early.
You look familiar. Have we met?
I have a very wide social circle, so everyone looks familiar at one point or another. But one would think I remember someone who stands out like him. The struggle to recall must have been evident on my face as he quickly and kindly answered my question.
I was with Isabella, your estate agent, when she had the house blessed.
Oh yes, that's right. Small world, isn't it?
Should have known you were Miss Wright.
The one and only. Welcome, welcome to Maison de Wright. And yes, we've been in the process of moving in as we were delayed. But it won't be a problem. They're just adding a few things here and there, and you should still be able to do your work. Where's the rest of your crew then, Mr. Steele?
Zach is fine, please. Mr. Steele makes me feel like I'm a mascot for a cleaning product. Anyway, I'll be your one-man crew for today. Don't worry, been doing this gig for a while now.
You must be quite the veteran to handle this on your own. We've had a full crew coming into our penthouse the last time we were covered in your magazine.
Veteran? Oh, your words are too kind, Miss Wright.
Hannah, if I get to call you Zach, you have my permission to call me Hannah.
Alrighty then. Anyway, I'm no veteran, but I know my camera well enough to make sure this is a good shoot. You can trust me on that, Miss Wright. Hannah.
Monsieur Le Photography. Meet Zachary the photographer as Hannah. Zachary proved quickly enough that I can in fact trust him. He deals with the camera and experience in this industry at the very least. He is kind and courageous, listening and following as I lead him around the house. And really nice fellow, as he treats our household staff well whenever we cross paths with him. I answer his questions to the best of my ability, and he is patient enough to answer mine whenever I get curious enough. For when I ask what the bags are for, they are quite the magician's toolkit. Inside, he had procured several items to embellish the interior with. Bowls of fruits, lemons, trays with pepper meals, stacks of cookbooks, cutting boards, and glass canisters filled with colorful nuts and grains are bought in for a kitchen setting. For the bathrooms, there are white towels, seashells, and decorative soaps. There are other things as well, too numerous to count, all in that large backpack and suitcase.
Tricks of the trade. Softens up a room, makes a place feel more homey, and fills it up with texture. But you guys probably have better stuff I can use for this.
No lights. Don't tell me all of these are just props.
Well, I've got my tripod here. For things like these, natural light is best. I'll just have to set the shutter speed to a real slow setting, and as long as nobody steps into the shot, it'll look great.
Oh, it better.
Go through the rooms one at a time, although we first tackle the one that the movers have no business in anymore. The ballroom needs a little preparation with its grand design. Although there is some trouble at first with the white base and the picture being backlit. It is the kitchen that Zachary's props come in handy, considering how Johannes kept the place so neat and sterile, one can particularly eat off the floor. We carry on touring the house and taking pictures where we can, with exception to the rooms which have yet to gain any purpose or design. Too bad I can't take a sneak peek at his photos yet. Funnily enough, he's using a traditional camera. Didn't even know film still existed. The way he speaks, however, I can see that he knows enough about his craft that I'm not too worried about photographs. Imagine photography, must be cathartic for him, judging by how at ease he looks while taking pictures. There are small snippets of conversation in between the clicking of the camera. He even goes far as to talk about these terminologies, like shutter speeds and aperture when I ask about the technical aspects. I can't quite see the picture as it is made, much like when I watch artists paint on their own canvas. But just watching someone passionately practicing their craft such as this is exciting in its own way. Going through the many rooms has been quite the exercise for the both of us. Despite that, he has been so nice, and I found myself putting on my best smile. But it is as we're taking pictures in the foyer that everything comes to a standstill for a moment. Just a moment. And had I not been paying attention, I wouldn't have been noticed. It's merely a split second when Zachary's rhythm is put to a halt. What the fuck? His finger doesn't move to release the shutter. Yet, he also doesn't pull the camera away from his face. Gaze still firmly fixed through the viewfinder. His hands shake and there is a light sheen of sweat on his
Zachary?
forehead. No response.
Zach, is something the matter?
Dude. Lowering his camera, he blinks and stares at something behind me before shaking his head. Turning around, though, I see nothing that could have gotten his attention.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something that's all. Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
I struggle to respond this time. There's a sudden weight on my back and an indescribable tightness around my throat. Everything stops, and everything starts again as I manage to choke
If you're sure.
I don't know what just happened. It was probably just a dizzy spell. I'm fine. And he said he's fine. Continue at the same pace as before, although there is an unspoken agreement that we will not talk about what happened.
So, is this a full-time job for you then?
Nah, I just freelance mostly, for magazines, newspapers, and events. So you can't really call it a full-time job. It's fun and it puts food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do. At least, not all the time.
What is it that you want to do then?
Maybe I've been out of line, sticking my nose in other people's business, but I can't help but ask. I regret doing so as I see his shoulders slump, and the easygoing air he has fades away. He looks torn over whether he wants to talk about it or not.
Films. Documentaries, mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on this thing, actually.
What thing?
Well, it wasn't really a big thing. People didn't like Blue Fonzie very much.
People don't like a film about colors. I suppose they would have liked Blue Bibby a lot more.
Very funny.
So, Grand Director, do you want to tell me what Blue Fonzie is all about?
He hesitates, but when I refuse to budge on the matter, he gives in and spills all out. Blue Fonzie, plus, I don't know what that means. Dark blue, the darkest hours of the Black British. He speaks with passion of one who has gone through the very matter he is concerned with. There is conviction, knowledge, and experience in his speech. Why, I would have told him that he is an amazing speaker if only I wasn't so engrossed listening. Produce and discrimination in schools and in the workplace. Lesser chances for opportunity and higher chances of being treated like a criminal. He spoke of blacks and people of color in general, still being treated like second-class citizens. All because of the color of their skin. True. It's all just positively riveting and sad. It comes to a point wherein he seemed to lose his steam. He looks abashed, realizing what he had just done.
Sorry, I just got so carried away and...
It's fine. It is really so fascinating to watch people talk about their passion, after all. You should see how your eyes light up when you speak so fiercely. You do have very beautiful eyes.
Uh-huh. Thanks, I guess.
I wanted to say that I understand where he's coming from. I really don't, do I? I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and I lived a charmed life. It hasn't been perfect, but the difficulties I've been through pales in comparison to what others experience on a daily basis. I certainly don't know how I would have fared were it any different. Would I still have met Luke, and would he still have loved me if I was any less?
What was your home like? These things you talk about. It sounds like you've... Well, I don't mean to pry, I mean.
Live with my older sister and my grandparents. We had a shop selling all sorts of things below our flat. And well, I was one of the few non-white, non-British students in class. I didn't get pushed around or anything straight up. Even then, I was one of the biggest kids around.
What's up, BJ?
But a pencil and notebook would go
This
missing,
is
you know?
The Leather. It's a horror novel. Oh, that I knew. Killing can be so cruel at times. Of course, it may be a slightly different story when you have personal guards and stolen item is not a pencil, but an expensive
So what about you? How you liking your new house? It's pretty impressive.
It's nice, I suppose.
You suppose? Not big enough?
What? No, oh, don't be a bully. It's just that...
I understand if you don't want to talk about it.
I was a little girl, all dolled up and treated like fragile porcelain, with nursemaids waiting to me hand and foot. All the material possessions anyone could ever want, I could ask for on a whim, and it would be handed to me just like that. But I barely saw my parents, just goodbye kisses in the morning before they went off to who knows where they were needed to next. I saw them more often on the tally or in the paper than I ever did in person.
I remember my old house. It was a lot like this one. Big walls and big halls, but nobody in it. Not really. It makes you think how alone you are.
Pensive mood overcomes us. There's a moment where neither of us are sure on how to go on from there. Things had gotten a bit too personal, yet it isn't wholly uncomfortable, like as if we've been friends before.
That's normal, ain't it? You just moved here. You'll make home out of it yet.
He certainly makes it easy to believe it. My childhood house is indeed a lot like this one. It's as large and extravagant, and just as empty. I hope he's right.
So, Monsieur le Photographe, you've covered the one and only Ermengarde Mansion. What's next on the agenda?
The interview?
Boring. It's an interior design and housing magazine.
And they want to know what Miss Wright has to say about her interior design and house.
Honor Wright thinks she bought a magnificent house that she can certainly brag about. Blah, blah. Boring. You know what they should print more of? I watched an interesting documentary the other day. Bleu Foncé, The Darkest Hours of the Black British. I recommend you watch it. Those are the things that people should know about. What do they care if I use a purple or green bowl of fruit in my kitchen?
People, right?
Oui. People are shite. What do you think? Do I look good with this angle?
I took a pose while he's being busy, taking aback for a moment, probably not expecting me to just go and say such a crass word. But he recovers quickly, and after snapping a few shots, he grins.
Vous êtes belle. You want copies of these ones?
Yes, please. So, the big boy knows French. You must have wooed a few ladies. Unless you're into gents. Either way, French is, after all, the language of romance.
No, I don't know about quoting fancy poetry. But I've made lunch for a girl before, and they did like that fancy French cuisine.
Can you cook your best?
I could cook just about anything as long as I know the recipe.
C'est magnifique.
It's been too long since I've had the nice and proper chat with a good friend. No, Lee is certainly not a good friend. And although we just met, Zachary is the sort who can properly befriend anyone. He's just a comfortable person to be around with. A bit too comfortable. Before she went by a breeze. Somewhere along the line, as we talked and laughed, I found myself getting a bit too close without realizing. He'll give me the strange look when I back off, and he'll go back to ask the questions about after I agreed to do this little interview. And it's just odd. Well, no, me being friendly isn't that odd. That is how I am. Zachary is the one that's being odd. Why, anyone else would absolutely welcome the extra attention I give them. He, on the other hand, looks almost flustered about it. He should be used to different personalities by now, having to deal with various people when he works. And if not, he needs to start. Perhaps nobody has shown him attention of this kind, but he's a big boy. He should be able to handle me. And it was all it is a friendly touch here, a pretty smile there, and gently swaying of the hips as I move around. Zachary grew and grew more red every time I noticed. Am I being mean as I find enjoyment in seeing him unravel? Perhaps. This went on during the interview and beyond that. There's nothing wrong with what we're doing, right? Zachary and I are just having a playful, friendly chat while enjoying the outside view. At least that's how I see it.
I'm sorry, but I'm really getting distracted. Could you maybe stop doing that?
Stop? I'm not sure if I want to, though.
I'll stop if it makes you uncomfortable, sweetie.
Sorry.
No, I should be the one apologizing. Why, you're a shy one, aren't you, big guy?
It's not that, but...
I gestured to the ring on my finger and let the fact of the matter hang heavily between us. Being told implicitly that I am too forward is not a common occurrence. I think I'm more stunned at the fact that she pointed it out rather than well being rejected. Not that anything's going to happen between us in the first place. It was just going to be some harmless flirting, right?
So, you've never had a girlfriend?
No. No boyfriend either. You know, just in case you were gonna ask for that one next.
And you haven't even had your first kiss?
Not a one, ma'am.
Do you want to have your first kiss today?
I can't help it. I really, really can't, and I'm going to apologize lots later. Surely, by the Kathy's smile on my face, this obvious Duncan is pulling his leg. The laugh I failed to contain certainly gives it away, if it still isn't obvious. But still he lights up in embarrassment, stammering and sputtering.
You're married, and this will be extremely unprofessional.
I never said I would kiss you, silly. Oh, Johans!
No, what? No. Don't call your butler. She's Hannah.
That would be for the better. I don't think his husband would appreciate it if I made him kiss another man. I do not think he can hear us from here either. But it is hard to think you're not taken, Zachary. Why, whoever becomes your girlfriend will be so lucky to have you. You can cook and take wonderful photographs, wonderful meals and wonderful memories.
I can play guitar too.
You can? Oh my, wonderful serenades as well then. Perhaps I can find a young lady who deserves a fine, strapping young gentleman like yourself.
Let's not get carried away. Besides, I gotta be going. It's getting late and I got someplace else to be.
A shame. I will be expecting you again soon, I hope. For a copy of my photographs, yes?
Of course. I'll even deliver them personally. Just, don't try to make me kiss your butler when I drop by.
As fate would have it, the very moment the words leave his mouth, Jonas comes out of the house. Judging by the slight raise of his eyebrows, he has heard only the tail end of the sentence.
There shall be no kissing of any butlers under this roof, Danke.
But you are not under a roof, are you, Hansi?
To my amazement, he takes a step back, safely placing him within the threshold of the foyer and under the roof of the house. Just as ever, he's quick to return with a sword dart.
I am now. As I was saying, madam, it's about time for supper. Will I be needing to set an extra place at the table?
Oh, what? No, I was just leaving, actually. So, you have a good night, Hannah, and you too, Hansi.
It was nice to meet you, Zach, honey. You have a safe trip.
Oh. He nods and the grin on his face. We say our goodbyes. It's the sweetest I have ever seen. I linger looking out for him with his relatively tiny bicycle, backpack safely secure in the back by the front, and suitcase hooked to the back. I watched as he went down to the path back to Anselm Village until he is nothing more than a blip in the horizon. Can I help the small smile on my face as I go inside for supper? Entering the dining hall causes me so much confusion. It is dark. For a moment I thought the electric work is not up to par, but that clearly is not the case, as every other room is bright and with artificial light. Finding the light switch is a momentary task, considering the size and my unfamiliarity with the room. To make matters worse, the darkness grants the room a different atmosphere, eerie and frightening. It takes longer than I thought to find the switch, something that will have to be rectified later on. My skin starts to prickle, and there is the distant feeling of being watched. It unsettles me, and only spurs me on in my search. And when I do open the lights, there is a hiss.
I'll turn the lights down, woman!
There at the end of the hall is my beloved husband with his face in one hand and a glass in the other. Perhaps I can let it go if it's only one glass of wine. However, I can feel myself go livid after seeing the toxic green liquid gleaming mockingly at me.
Luke, what? Are you drinking absinthe? You know what the doctor said. Absinthe, Luke. Are you actively trying to kill yourself? Because if you are, we can just hit you with a bloody car.
Honeybee, Buttercup, not too loud, please. Besides, it's Lelouch, not too strong. Just hair of the dog that bit me. Helps with the hangover, dearest.
You drank? When?
This morning, love. Don't be mad. I just needed a few drinks, having to deal with those simpletons. And maybe I had one too much. You don't see me whinging about you leaving me to handle them on my own.
I had to attend the photo shoot and interview with Luxury Living. You know that. Let's not make this about me, Luke. This is about you and your drinking problem and...
Oh, I don't know, Hannah, darling. What if my drinking problem, as you like to call it, is linked to you?
Dude.
If we think about it that way, this discussion is about you. That was pretty mean of you, leaving me alone to do all the work like that. You can't use the interview as an excuse either, honey. I was informed the moment your little interview was done. So, what was it then, What were you doing?
Tending the gardens.
I was just tending to the garden, sweetie.
You were?
Right, look spectacle. I can tell by the gleam in his eyes and the way he sits up in his intention. He thinks I'm lying, but I see no point in bringing up Zachary and aggravating him. I did tend to the gardens for a bit, so it's not a complete lie. It's a little white lie. Besides, I know just how to please him. Sauntering over and circling around him, I placed my fingers on his shoulders. Pleased that little girl before melting like butter as I massaged his shoulders.
I had to make sure they didn't ruin your favorite daffodils.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Not sure if he means massage of the flowers, but I'll take it. This is better than a fight.
So, absinthe.
Just one glass, Loosh.
I suppose I can let this one go. A bit too late anyway, you've already drank half the thing. But remember your doctor's orders.
Yes, I'll try to drink less.
Try.
Hey, I'm only human. Do you want one?
No, thank you.
Supper spent in silence with nothing but the occasional sound of silverware. A grand feast had been served, well, grander than usual anyway, most likely due to Luke's complaints of stress. A platter of native oysters for starters, and touch a turban with purple sprouting, broccoli, lemon, capers, and anchovy sauce for remains. To finish it off, black tea and golden syrup sponge pudding with custard. Ooh. With our appetites are appeased and the plates are cleared away, Luke stands, kisses me goodnight, and leaves me to stare at the half-empty cup. Lonely in the low night, I sit in the room in that house too big and too empty for an unwelcoming. Even with its worn tone and homely decor, it feels cold. There is no need for tears, however. I know I can get through this like every other obstacle I have faced before. This is a minor setback, and what I hope will be a long and happy life. To remind myself that this place is for Luke and for a future Karen fills me with a renewed vigor. Besides, it looks like someone's having a cry anyway, already. The wailing is far away and muffled. Yet at the same time, it shakes me to my very core as I hear it. And this is suffering just standing right beside me. Hearing it sends a chill down my spine and makes my skin prickle with goosebumps. Who is that? Curiosity sinks in as I follow the sorrowful sound in the kitchen and into the wine cellar hatch.
Hello? Is anybody down there?
I'm curious and concerned, but there is no way I'm going down into a dark and humid underground. I'm not as enthusiastic as Luke, who considers himself quite the connoisseur. However, I also cannot bring myself to go to bed with this racket going on. If this is one of the household help, they will surely need some talking to. After all, this wouldn't be the first time I got and found one of the maids sobbing their eyes out over one thing or another. As professional as their staff are, they are still human. More often than that, it was either Jonas or I would have calmed them down to help them figure out how to go on about things. Fortunately, I am not in high spirits right now, so not a wholly benevolent. I knock 3 times, waiting for any sort of reply yields. Make no results, and I've already touched the floor hatch far too many times than what I liked. Take a deep breath before reaching out again to whoever's inside. I learned from experience that people respond better to constant threats, shouting angrily when I help and coax them.
You, in the cellar? Do come out. We don't want Luke waking up and finding you in there, do we? That man would go ballistic thinking someone was trying to steal his precious wine.
Still
You
nothing.
can have a good cry. Just not in there, yes? Why don't you come out here and we can have a cuppa and you can tell me all about whatever it is you're bawling about?
So long I'm standing here, however, starting to think myself as a fool. Did not want to acknowledge the other feeling I have, especially as the wailing took an eerie turn. The thought being played with didn't sit too well with me, and I had to stop myself from getting too hot-headed as I try one more
Now
time.
you come out of there! That is an order from the lady of the house, do you hear me? Why, I ought to...
I freeze as a hand clamps down my shoulder. The dread I've been feeling all this time makes itself known as I kneel, unmoving, not even daring to breathe. I can feel my heart pounding against my chest, but the touch is gone, and quickly as it has seized me. It's only Jonas I see when I look back.
Apologies, madam, for touching you like that. You were not responding to my voice, and you looked about ready to wake the whole mansion up.
I was... Oh, I'm sorry. I was getting rather loud, wasn't I? But that crying woman in there, we must do something about her.
He grows solid for a moment and just looks concerned. At least I like to interpret it as concern, given how stoic our head butler usually is. Or rather, it must have been concern as he takes off a glove and presses the back of his hand at his forehead before his worrisome inquiry.
I beg your pardon. What crying woman? Are you feeling well, madam?
In the cellar? Can't you hear her?
Madam Hannah, no one is down there.
What?
The cellar is locked. Only Luke and I have duplicates of the keys. Nobody is down there.
I stare him in disbelief. But when I listen once more, I hear no crying. Tucking at the hatch for good measure proved his words to be true, too. The thing won't budge unless I had a key. So are using power tools on it.
Perhaps it is time for you to go to bed, madam. You are simply tired and hearing things, a perfectly normal human experience. But if you are still experiencing auditory hallucinations in the morning, you are free to consult with me.
There is a cold feeling in the pit of my stomach as he helps me up to my feet. What he says makes sense. And who am I to question someone who used to be a doctor? I am just tired, that's all. Long day of moving, the interview, dealing with Luke, that has outdrained me of any proper sense.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I just need some sleep, that's all.
Of course I'm right. Go on then. Gute Nacht.
Good night, Johannes. Good night, house.
Just fatigue. That's what I keep telling myself, although I can't ignore the strange feeling in my gut. Either there's something wrong with this house, or there's something wrong with my head. Sleep will be elusive tonight. October 28th, Friday. Alright, I'm gonna stop the stream there, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I've been streaming for 3 hours, so I'll see you guys then. I'll see you guys tomorrow sometime, whenever.